morning.
Yeah, and I know Nashville was a new place, but remember that street race and how the craziness was of that? There's no way that you can feel comfortable. I don't care what kind of lead you got there. It should be really exciting. Looking forward to that.
Well, there's a good chance we'll crown a new IndyCar champion tomorrow. But speaking of champions, we've got the reigning Xfinity Series champion standing by with Dave.
And Kelly, he was watching that qualify with interest, told me it would be exciting. Your man Newgarden's on the pole. How about him, and then how about you tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty great qualifying session to watch as a fan, and obviously Newgarden getting it done, clutch when it counts. So looking forward to watching that battle tomorrow. Obviously tonight's start of a new chapter for us in this season. You know, it's playoff time. Points matter. Obviously, a race win tonight means a lot for our Odyssey Battery Ford Mustangs. So, see what we got, and it's hot out, Dave.
I can't help that. Kelly, they're turning the page. The chapter now goes to playoffs.
The ever-observant Austin Cindric. It is hot. All right, you guys, time to get your picks. We're in Vegas. What better place to do it? Start with you, Stevie.
Well, the playoffs are here. Playoff drivers are ready. So I'm picking a non-playoff drive.
Obvious.
Ty Gibbs in the 54. If he was eligible, he would be in the playoffs. He's won 3 races this year in just 14 starts. I don't care. It's his first ever race at Las Vegas in the Xfinity Series. The playoff guys, DJ, they're going to be tight, bound up, nervous. Not this 18-year-old. He'll be freewheeling. Ty Gibbs for the win.
Yeah, he's incredible to watch, and it's going to be fun to watch him navigate out here. It is hot. Track's going to be slick. I'm going with the man that's, to me, has a lot of momentum. If you didn't believe that one driver wanted to win more than everybody else last week at Bristol, that's A.J. Allmendinger. He wanted that win, and he knows that a win here today, and he won here earlier this year, will get him through to the next round of the playoffs.
Well, Steve, since Austin brought it up, let's talk about this heat. How will it affect things on this track?
This is a high-speed racetrack that needs a ton of aerodynamics for things to go right. Where the temperature comes in, DJ, is when the arrow goes wrong, and you need that mechanical grip. When you go slide, you need that grip. It's not going to be there at 94 degrees. They are going to be chasing the handling.
Yeah, and it's going to be over 140 degrees inside these race cars. You better have prepared yourself very well. Sitting around, I know they wanted to
kill this damn fly.
Sitting in the air conditioning probably wasn't the best thing that they could do because it's going to be hot.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to getting to pit road myself after that pep talk. All right, coming up next, we'll hand it over to the Booth Boys, Rick Allen and Brad Daugherty next.
We come to this place for magic. That indescribable feeling we get when the lights begin to dim. Dazzling images on a huge silver screen. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. And stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here, they are. AMC Theaters. We make movies better.
Tums versus mozzarella stick.
When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Fast heartburn relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. Tums Chewy Bites.
Welcome to Allstate, where our new lower auto rates make everyone feel like an MVP. Now get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
Tums versus
Sheena the dog.
mozzarella stick.
Sheena the dog.
When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Fast heartburn relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. Tums Chewy Bites.
So what came first, the grilled cheese or the burger?
So you know the burger had to come first. You go back hundreds of years. Oh, cheese has been around hundreds of years too.
Exactly. Okay, Sonic grilled cheeseburger. So
Wow, this is a good debate.
Ever wonder if your life could have been totally different?
Your dad would be proud of you.
It's only natural to wonder what if.
Ordinary Joe. Mondays on NBC.
There's nothing like you do for your country.
The pressure. This is what I love, the passion, the pride.
Who will take home the Ryder Cup? On NBC and Peacock.
Entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the site of the first race of the playoffs for the Xfinity Series. It's going to be a hot one here. Talk about the playoffs. Look at the standings once they have been reset points. Now, 2,000 plus every playoff point they earned during the regular season. Austin Cindric, A.J. Allmendinger, they're atop with 2,044 points. At the end of the 3 races from this first round, the final 4 in points will be eliminated from the playoffs. Alongside Brad Daugherty, Rick Allen with you. And Brad, we just saw the playoff standings. How do you handicap these playoffs?
Well, you know, for me, it's AJ and Austin. Those are the guys that kind of.
Brad Dourie's in the booth today.
The champion. You know, it really is significant. But when
I love that.
How I'm going to rate these guys, I'm looking at AJ as being a step above Austin in this particular series because I think AJ's experience plays out. As I've watched him over the last several weeks, he's won races in a myriad of ways. But the thing that he's done, he's always put himself in position to get a great finish, no matter if it's winning the race, finishing second or third. I think the maturation of A.J. Allmendinger as a race car driver is significant, and I think it puts him above the field. I think it's A.J. versus the field.
The 39-year-old maybe running after his first championship. All right, what do we expect out of this race tonight? A very hot
fucking
day here.
Syndic in the background.
Yeah, we heard everyone talk about, we heard the guys talk about it being hot, greasy, and slick, and yeah, you run this race in stages. You go out, you try to get as many points each stage as you possibly can get. But you get to the end of these races, this is where the crew chiefs earn their money. How snug do you get this race car as the sun starts to go down and the grip comes up? Big decisions have to be made for those last short runs. It's going to be interesting.
And again, a reminder, it's 12 drivers running for a championship, but the rest of the field still running for a race win. It's time to get things underway here in Sin City. Let's go trackside for pre-race ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your hats as the Nellis Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. And please remain standing as MRO Chaplain Billy Malden offers this afternoon's invocation.
Let's pray. Gracious God and Heavenly Father, it's a great day for racing, and we're blessed to be able to be here and to do so today. And we ask your hand of protection upon these drivers and teams, officials, Lord, get everybody a safe day of racing. Father, pray for the fans that everybody would have a great time, great memories. Fathers, we always do. We remember the men and women of our armed forces, first responders, those that are protecting the liberty that we enjoy today. Be with them, be with their families. May your peace, may your presence surround us all. It's in your holy name we pray. Amen.
And now, race fans, here to perform our national anthem. Please welcome the Doo-Wop Kings.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
Oh my God, these flies are pissing me off. I got 2 flies in my room now. I thought there was only 1.
This man is about to buy tires on TireRack.com. TireRack is the leading online retailer of tires in North America and a repository of advice and expert reviews. And it's done. All that's left is to arrange for safe, easy installation at one of our independent recommended installers. Right now, you can get this special offer when you force to TireRack.com/GetReadyGet80. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
The Roval is not your average racetrack, and this is not your average race. This is a hair-raising, gut-wrenching, twisting and turning, bumping and banging playoff race. This is hundreds of miles of wild racing through thousands of turns. This is a race to the checkered flag and a race to advance to the next round. Will your driver make it? Be there to find out. The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 10th. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com.
I've got you.
What is this place?
A baby.
For the past 2 years, the Packers and the 49ers have seen their dreams cut short. But a new season brings a new chance to reach for glory. Sunday Night Football on NBC.
Get ready for the latest shows and movies with Verizon Fios premium channels. Kanan's complex past and a family's eerie history. Black Panthers with an imposter and a hero without a weapon. All ready for you. Watch live and on demand at home or even on the go with Fios TV Mobile. Showtime, Stars, Epix, HBO Max, Cinemax. Get ready to get watching. Go to channel 860 to order premium networks. Verizon Fios On Demand has the best horror, more action, and the latest adventure movies. Like this one.
My brother and I are looking for passage upriver. Oh, God, sorry, Frank.
Sorry, strong form.
Here we go.
Torpedo.
Disney's Jungle Cruise. Get the hottest new releases with Verizon Fios On Demand.
The race for the win. They make contact.
The three favorites for this championship will go into these playoffs not happy at all with each other. Back to back. And again, damn right. Nice work.
It's NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs from Las Vegas. The Alsco Uniforms Rio 2. You see the cars lined up. Drivers have climbed into their cars. Let's get storylines. We'll start with Kelly Stavitz.
And we'll start with Justin Allgaier at 35 years old. Justin is one of the most experienced and one of the most successful drivers in this field. He's been a part of the championship for 4 of the last 5 years, but still looking for that first Xfinity Series championship. He's also still looking for his first win here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but he's got a couple of runner-up finishes, and starting third here today, Dave, he feels confident he can get it done.
Kelly, how about a driver who's looking for his first win of 2021? That's Harrison Burton. When he talked to the media about it this week, he said, yeah, it's a little bit frustrating that we haven't gotten that win yet, but we've had the speed to do it every single week. He believes that he can start the playoffs well today at Vegas with that same mindset, a fast 20 car that could get them the first ones to victory lane in the 2021 playoffs, Kelly.
Another driver looking for his first win of 2021 is Brandon Jones, driver of the number 19 car. And after a regular season that was littered with highs and lows, this is a team hoping for a little more consistency. And they've been looking forward to a reset here as the postseason begins. They come into this race with a little bit of momentum, a top 5 finish at Bristol Motor Speedway, and they hope to continue that here in Vegas, which just happens to be one of Brandon's best racetracks, Dave.
Kelly, Myatt Snider was one of the first drivers in 2021 to know that he'd be in the playoffs here today. His win back at Homestead was February 27th. He said that's a blessing and a curse, because the blessing was that we're in. The curse was that it kind of put aside some of the things that I really need to work on, and he spent the rest of this season getting himself into playoff shape. Rick, he's going to start 12 today.
We'll see if Myatt Snider can get back into that winning way that we saw early in the season. Let's get things underway.
You mean the one
we
win?
gotta fire the engines on the playoffs for the Xfinity Series. Let's go for the command now.
Here to give the command to start engines for the Alsco Uniforms 302, Senior Vice President of Fixed Operations at Larry H. Miller, Dan Johnson.
On behalf of Alsco and the 4,500 Larry H. Miller dealership employees, drivers, start your engine!
Engines have come to life, and we are moments away from the green flag here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
There's something I want to ask you.
Oh,
The new iPhone 13 Pro is here with the most advanced iPhone camera ever, and I got it at T-Mobile.
I thought you were going to talk about forever.
This is a value that lasts forever, because when you get the new iPhone at T-Mobile, trade-in value is locked in.
So we can always have a new iPhone?
Yes. So, what do you say? Switch to T-Mobile with me?
Yes.
We're going to T-Mobile!
Fall in love with iPhone. Get it on us now and upgrade every 2 years forever. Only at T-Mobile.
Welcome to Allstate, where savings from our new lower auto rates follow you everywhere. Now, get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on? Sure, it's wireless. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password? It's Buick Envision. That's a really tight spot. I used to hate parallel parking. Me too.
The all-new Buick Envision, built around you, all of you. Pay no interest for 72 months, plus current eligible Buick owners get $500 purchase allowance on 2021 Buick SUV models.
Every customer has their own Safe Light story. This couple loves camping adventures, and their SUV is always there with them. So when their windshield got a chip, they wanted it fixed fast. They drove to Safe Light Auto Glass for a guaranteed same-day in-shop repair. We repaired the chip before it could crack, and with their insurance, it was no cost to them.
Really?
That's service you can trust when you need it most.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace. Welcome to Allstate, where our new lower auto rates make everyone feel like an MVP. Now get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
For me, the only thing that matters is making it to Phoenix.
I'm confident that if we go out there and execute, that we'll run up front and we'll be one of the cars to beat every weekend.
We can come in there and attack and win one of these and set the tone early on.
And now we know what we need in the playoffs to have success and give ourselves opportunity.
We've always known we've had this speed. We need to capitalize on it.
Putting ourselves in position each and every year to go for the championship has been a lot of fun.
It doesn't matter how you get there. It doesn't matter what took place before then. You show up to Phoenix and you have a shot, that's all that matters.
I think if we can have some good races coming up, we can make it to the championship 4. I know I can do it. I know my team can. We don't have anything to lose, so we're just going to give it all we got.
I think there's no issue of going to the Final Four. Obviously we've proven we can do it before.
We've had consistent performance, and I feel like if we keep doing that, we can easily make the round of 8 and then focus on getting to the Final Four.
Right now, we're really driving and striving well as a team and feel really comfortable and confident.
It all starts right here in Las Vegas for the Xfinity Series, the road to the championship. This first playoff race to determine maybe somebody who can lock themselves into the next round. As we take a look at the starting grid, it's Austin Cindric and A.J. Allmendinger making up row number 1. Those two come in as the number 1 and 2 seeds of these playoffs.
Looking down the grid for me, I'm looking at row number 5, Noah Gragson, Riley Herbst. Both these guys, Las Vegas, Nevada guys, love to get a win at the home track.
Top 7 rows, all holding the playoff drivers. The only 2 that aren't playoff drivers up in the top 7. Ty Gibbs, he's starting 6th. Sam Mayer starting in the 11th position today.
Also got Josh Berry filling in for Michael Annett, jumping in. And Josh can wheel that thing. Be fun to watch him race today.
A little bit further back in the field, see in row 17, that's Matt Jaskol driving the 66. We're going to talk a little bit more about him here in just a little bit. He had an interesting way of getting into driver introductions. See all the way through the field. We're going to chat with one of the playoff drivers, Daniel Hemric, piling that number 18, still looking for his first win. We'll dial him up on the radio, Brad.
Daniel Hemric, this is Brad. Do you have me?
Yeah, man. I got you loud clear.
All right, everyone's talked about the heat, how greasy and slick this racetrack is. Tell us about this first stage. What are you expecting?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that transition point, right? Is the stage here in 1 and 2, and honestly, it's a little bit different than what you see down at 3 and 4. So we just gotta find the P's and Q's right here as far as where the racetrack at, and where it's going to actually go, where things are going to go, and be ready for the adjustments that follow suit. Go from there.
You were really strong here in March, man. Led 74 laps, had a strong race car. I'll tell you what, I'm picking you to win today. The thing I need to know is will I be able to see that backflip once you get to victory lane today?
I got a little age on me there, Brad, but I feel good. Been working out, preparing for this heat, preparing for this situation, and ready to rock. That's what it comes to.
All right, Daniel, good luck to you, man. We'll be pulling for you. Also like to thank Toyota. This is outstanding. They're going to have this 360-degree camera in Daniel's car today. Thanks to the good folks at Toyota for letting us ride along with Daniel Hemric.
We're going to ride along with a few other drivers, and for more on a few of those drivers, let's go to Kelly.
We'll be keeping tabs on Justin Haley thanks to the Leaf Home Solutions onboard camera. When I saw Justin earlier today, he was cool as a cucumber. He told me he was super relaxed and super confident about this first round of the playoffs, and in particular this racetrack. He felt like they had the fastest race car.
Put an ESPN North Carolina State into Google. ESPN North Carolina State.
He's got consistency on his side. This team has finished outside of the top 10 just once in the last 10 races, so they're looking to continue that hot streak. Dave, we'll see if that relaxed attitude pays off for Justin Haley.
I did see that it was in overtime. When I turned the TV on to change over to the race, ESPN was turned on, and I saw that they were in overtime, and I was like, ooh. But I didn't know they were in the second overtime. Look at Clemson. Clemson.
Here in his hometown.
Yeah, what a great vantage point we're going to be able to see.
Yeah, 21-27. Oh, NC State did win. Did you see the Syracuse game last night? I was at that game. Did you see that? All right, give me my food. Place your delivery order.
Interesting way of coming into driver introductions. Kind of full circle for Matt Jaskol. About 7 years ago, working here at the racetrack, he was doing coaching of guys that were trying to have some fun on the racetrack in cars, and one of the people that was with him was actually a
He did? You saw the field goal to end it?
Hey, come with me.
That's pretty cool.
The first time he ever did it, he was terrified jumping out of...
But yeah, that's why I didn't stream last night. It was because I was at the Syracuse game. I saw Sheldon's crash, though. Fucking, that's scary.
Until 2,500 feet, and then that is a perfect two-point landing right there.
Matt Jaskol just didn't right.
Oh, Matt Jaskol, the guy who skydived, is in the race today? Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Really a great backstory on Matt. He also is very familiar with the Andretti.
What? When Val, what? You going to the, coming back to America?
Alexander Rossi. He actually taught Alexander Rossi how to race.
Oh, yeah, we did erase a 7-game winning. I didn't know that it was a 7-game winning streak, but I knew that it was like, they were like number 25. And then we beat them, so that's like actually really good.
All right, Brad, we've talked a little bit about this racetrack and this race. Let's get the details.
Okay, so let's look at the laps. 201 laps and 300 miles.
Fucking Yankees, dude.
Both 45 laps.
I'm getting rid of this fucking scoreboard. Fuck that shit. I don't even want to think about what just fucking happened.
That'll differentiate just a little bit between 60.
We were doing so good, then we gave up a goddamn grand slam to fucking Stanton.
Man, we've seen some great finishes at this racetrack, so those last 111 laps, you got to get it right.
There's going to be a comp caution.
I don't even know where Liberty University is. Where is that?
Jeff Burton has made his way
Virginia.
up in front of the grid, up to the booth now, and Jeff, obviously, when you were down there.
Yeah, obviously last year combined with that.
Drivers, as hot as it is down there and on this racetrack.
Well, it's really hot. We're riding along with Daniel Hemric with that Toyota cam. It's almost 103 degrees already, you know, and so
Clemson's ninth?
really hot. And one thing I want you to know,
Why is Clemson 9? I thought it'd be higher.
1 and 2 because of where the sun is, it's completely shaded.
Is it because, like, Trevor Lawrence is no longer there?
Look at all the shade. You know what that is? That's grip. That is going to make your car drive a lot better. But on the other end of the racetrack, it's going to be the exact opposite. 3 and 4 are going to be.
You're not going to talk baseball at all?
Until the sun sets. And that is
Yeah, I don't want to talk baseball right now. Fuck that shit. Fucking hate baseball.
Bump down there. You called it a ramp earlier, I think, in the race show.
It is a huge bump down there. We're going to see them when they navigate through that thing, how the cars move around. And if your car is really tight or it's really loose through there, that's only going to make that situation worse. And then, of course, these cars, remember, these cars don't make as much downforce as the Cup cars do. So when they're underneath another car, it's got on the outside of them, and they don't have a lot of grip over there, and they hit that bump, it really drives bad in that situation.
All right, Dave, how about the driver of the 54, young Ty Gibbs out here?
Ty Gibbs is my pick to win today. I think Ty Gibbs wins.
For the championship, but his owner or team points.
Who do you guys have winning today? Yeah, Trevor, time washed away and they slowly declined. I saw that last week. Clemson had like a rain delay. Like, that's rare in football, but it was like lightning and it was just too bad. They had to, it was like an hour and a half rain delay or some shit like that. Or no, I think it was longer than that.
Racing around playoff drivers so that next year he can roll into this with a year's experience.
Brad, I love that approach. Yeah. Right? Like, try to mimic exposure to stress. Try to find a way to expose a young driver to something that ultimately he's going to have to know how to deal with. This in a much lower pressure situation.
Very, very smart, because the only thing you can't replicate is experience. And he's getting that experience this year, today, so he'll be better prepared next year when he has an opportunity to take advantage.
All right. All of these playoff drivers are looking forward to the start of the playoffs. Let's listen in to the
How has Trevor Lawrence done this year so far? I mean, I really haven't kept up with him so far yet.
Have ourselves a good day, all right? I appreciate all the hard work and time and effort that goes into it. This is where it gets good right now. This is where we go to work.
When's the competition caution?
Sir, it's playoff time.
It's playoff time.
You're going to have to step it up.
The other thing that comes into play, a lot of the playoff drivers mentioned try not to make mistakes.
Lap 25.
They saw in the Cup Series how some of the drivers made mental errors, mistakes during that first round. The extended drivers, they're trying not to make those mistakes so they can advance. Again, we've got the line right there below 8, because at the end of the third race, if you're below that line, your playoff hopes are done.
Yeah, but the problem with not trying not to make mistakes...
Tua is injured. I don't even know who that is.
You're going forward. You're trying to get as many spots in this stage as you possibly can. And as you look at those drivers above him, they're doing the same thing. So they're putting pressure on him. So it makes you overthink sometimes and make those little mistakes. The question is, can you rebound from it?
Yeah, so right here on the start, Austin Syracuse, the pole sitter.
That game pissed me off, though, dude.
Let's see how that works out.
You were doing so well, kicking Yankee ass.
The field 2 by 2. About ready to get underway with the playoffs. So right here,
green flag.
Green flags in the air. Both cars in the front row got a little assistance as they enter turn 1. Looks
like that outside line's got some good momentum.
Big run there for Austin Cindric as he takes the lead coming off of turn 4. Sliding right behind him, 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. And his teammate, Justin Haley, in the 11 back there in third. Still a battle for that 4th spot. Already Ty Gibbs working.
Oh, Alabama's QB.
Trying to make it work as he's trying to get by.
I remember I watched the Alabama, or like the finale of the national championship game last year. I don't remember him, though.
You can really see what Jeff was talking about, too. That car on the outside, when it drives into that corner real hard, it takes the air. That air is moving around on that left fender of that race car, and it pushes it up the racetrack.
Those two remain side by side.
I can't wait for basketball season to restart.
Down at the bottom of the racetrack. Is the bump bigger on the bottom or middle or top of this turn?
Yeah. It goes from the bottom to the top.
And very close racing here as they continue to go side by side. Now, the advantage to the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Can he clear it?
So right now, let's see Allgaier is trying to get that window to his left rear quarter panel to pull him back. Little side grab, wasn't able to do it.
Oh, no.
Gibbs up to 4th. Allgaier back to 5th. center.
You can't miss that.
Haley, Gibbs, Allgaier. They're the top 5, and it's Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick, Harrison Burton, 8th, Myatt Snyder, and Riley Herbst rounding out the top 10. Preferred line around this racetrack, Jeff?
It depends on how your car's driving. You can see right there, we've seen passes made on the bottom, we've seen them on the top. Ty Gibbs working the bottom, saw Harrison Burton, he got around his 2 teammates on the outside, but then drove back to the bottom in 1 and 2. Really depends on how your car's driving and what's going on around you. See, Allgaier back to the outside of Gibbs. Remember, Gibbs just got by him.
Allgaier takes the spot back. How difficult is it looking into the sun, too, when they come out of turn 4 and right back into the sun?
I don't think it's too awful bad right now. The sun gets, you know, you can see right here, this is the shaded part of the racetrack, riding along with Monster Energy and Riley Herbst. No sun issue right here, but as we ride along with him, you see he's on the outside of Myatt Snyder. Lifts really early, then tries to get back to the throttle. Here he modulates the gas. That's just grip. He's looking for grip. Right there, the sun's going to be an issue, but as they go down the straightaway, you'll see it's going to get better.
So just the exit of turn 4, a little bit difficult for these drivers to see. Dave.
And it's kind of interesting. There's not a lot of tape across the
University of Miami played at Hard Rock Stadium today. Oh, wow. And this happened, plus Miami won 69-0. Damn. Nice.
Too loose, he radioed to the crew, just unable to hold the position that he had. He started 10th, he now stays 10th, and couldn't fend off the drivers who got around him.
A little bit of a run there out of Harrison Burton, trying that lower line. Pressure being added to the bumper of Haley. Allgaier right there now.
Damn. Holy shit. That was a great catch.
Always searching for grip at this racetrack.
Hard Rock Stadium? Why were they playing at Hard Rock Stadium? Is that like... No, that's not their stadium, right? Where does University of Miami play? Like usually.
And they'll try to make their car work in that put area.
How much does the heat play in, Jeff, when you talk about dirty air? When you talk about those guys racing back from 2nd on back to 12th, does that accentuate the issue of the air being even more turbulent?
It does, because what does air do when you get to another car? It takes grip away from your car. And when you already have less grip, it just magnifies that problem. So yes, it makes the heat makes it even that much more difficult.
Allgaier running that second line, trying to get a little bit of momentum on Healy. Comes out of 4, crosses over to the inside. Can't quite get to that left rear quarter panel to side draft him as they go into 1.
I've talked to Justin Allgaier this week a little bit about racing at this racetrack, and he's become so close, you know, 2-time runner-up. What's it going to take for him to get, you know, to the checkered flag and to step up into these playoffs and be the guy we think he is? And he said it's just circumstances. You know, he's got a great race car, race team. They do a lot of things correctly. It's just putting a race together throughout the day. And if they can get to that last stage...
What is Allgaier doing?
Really loose there for Allgaier. Had to catch that race car.
Oh, that is? Oh, I didn't know that.
Ty Gibbs. Lost a lot of momentum there.
That shows you how close to the limit they're operating on grip.
I mean, he was in a 4-wheel slide when he came off the corner. Look at that.
I think it's kind of dumb, though. An NFL stadium shares their stadium with a college football.
Hemrick had great success at this racetrack. He's had multiple second-place finishes. Still hasn't been able to find victory lane, but moving forward now for that 18.
Yeah, I like what Hemrick did right there. He had his left side tires all on the white line, hitting grip. Then he jumped up on the outside of Allgaier.
201 laps, yep. Why? I don't know.
In 1 and 2, gets to the outside now of Allgaier. Kelly.
Well, we saw that big moment for Justin Allgaier in the 7th that had him moving in the wrong direction.
Yo, why the fuck is this race 201 laps? Like, why? Like, how does that make any sense? Why? It's just confusing.
About halfway to the comp caution. And they'll have the opportunity if they want to change tires at lap 25. But right now, everyone's chasing after Austin Cindric.
Some like you to think they still build the best trucks. But according to just about anybody who's handing out a trophy, Ram currently builds the best trucks. So if you're shopping for a truck,
dude, at the Dome though, they're like fucking awful about the masks. Like they make you wear the masks even in your seat. So me and like the people behind us, we just kept trolling the fucking security guards by taking off our masks, and they kept getting so pissed at us, and it was so funny. And I mentioned to one of them, I was like, I've literally been vaping this entire game, and they don't care about that, but I've been fucking, I take my mask off, and they're like, hey.
My zone, lowering my A1C, CV risk, and
Trying to make up the lap from the truck race? What lap?
back to the game.
Ozempic is proven to lower A1C. Most people who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it. And you may lose weight. Adults lost on average up to 12 pounds. In adults also with known heart disease, Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack, stroke, or death.
Ozempic helped me get back in my type 2 diabetes zone.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic.
The last
if you or
lap?
your family
What do you mean?
ever had medullary thyroid cancer
What
or
up,
multiple
Matt?
organ
How's it going?
syndrome type 2, or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach
I'm
pain,
sticking to
or
my
allergic
prediction.
reactions.
Ty Gibbs
Side
wins this
effects may
race.
include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Looking to get back in your type 2 diabetes zone?
This is your Grubhub driver, Nicholas. I have arrived. What's up, Jaden? I didn't watch the truck race yesterday. I was at the Syracuse game, so I saw Sheldon's crash, but that's all. And I know that Eckes won.
Well, most people probably know that Geico could save them money on car insurance, right? You see, the thing is, Geico, well, could help them save on boat insurance too. Oi! Okay, I'm ready to come in now.
You think AJ wins? I think if Ty Gibbs doesn't win, then AJ does.
Seriously, I'm serious.
There's no way Syndic wins this race. I don't care if he's leading.
People money on more than just car insurance.
Syndic will not win this race, and if he does, you can clip this. All right, you can clip this and you can tweet it at me and call me a fucking moron. But he's not gonna win.
Give a crew chief call. Visit NASCAR.com/scanner. You can start your subscription today.
Oh my God, that's so dumb. NASCAR threw a caution at the last lap of the truck race for a truck at the tail end of the field. I didn't even know that. That's fucked up.
Some oil, so the team has told Justin to watch his gauges, and we're listening in on the radio. They don't sound panicked or anything at this point, but we'll continue to monitor it.
And we did see Justin get really sideways out of turn 4, but haven't seen much of that since then.
Well, I was looking to see on the back of the car. You know, a lot of times you can look on the very back of the car, you'll see that oil will get on there because of the turbulence behind the spoiler spins.
Oh my God, why does my Grubhub driver feel the need to call me? Like, just leave the food at the door. My whole thing is I don't like talking to the drivers. I don't. I want them to leave my food and then fucking, I'm not answering. I want them to leave my food and then go. How long is 201 laps? 302 miles. I'm assuming that's what you meant by how long.
It's just nerve-wracking. We talked about the mistakes in the playoffs, in the Truck Series and in the Cup Series. Early mistakes in the playoffs. That's what these teams are hoping to avoid.
Riding along with Haley as we look back on Noah Gregson back there.
And Rhodes had a run on Eckes heading into turn 3 when they threw it. Well, fuck Ben Rhodes. I'm actually glad that happened then.
Can he make the pass on the outside?
Who do you have for Cup tomorrow, and what did you think of Chiefs versus Ravens last week? I fell asleep at the beginning of the fourth quarter of that, but I did see the ending. Pretty exciting. I watched the replay of the ending.
Hemrick has closed in on the 54 of Ty Gibbs.
2 hours, yeah, probably.
Jeff, as we talked about, tomorrow looking at the Cup cars, down for Force versus Trim. These cars, like I say, don't have as much.
Oh my God, the driver's still here, and he's making my dog bark. Just leave, bro. Put the food on my fucking porch, get back in your car, and go on your merry way.
If he didn't, he could not lean on it the way he just did. He just drove to the bottom of the racetrack and easily made the pass on Ty Gibbs, and that's overall grip, that's side grip, that's the driver being able to just be aggressive as we see a battle for the lead here. But it really depends on how your car is handling. But you cannot be sliding around and making moves.
It's okay.
Enough side grip to be able to have confidence in your car.
Jeff, I want to introduce myself, Rick Allen. I don't know a lot about racing. Lateral grip, that's what right over my head. What are you talking about?
I want that when the car turns, right? When you leave the wall, when you make that left-hand turn going to the corner.
Oh my fucking
I want that right
God.
there to gain grip. I want it to just tell me, do whatever you want with this car. Drive as aggressively as you want. And when you turn into the corner, that's when you tend to get loose. I mean, the back of the car
Hi, dog.
stick. That lateral grip is the right rear gets hung out, and when it does, it makes actually more grip, and it tells the driver, drive me hard, man. I want more of it. And that's what a race car driver wants. He wants his car talking to him, telling him he'll accept.
Did he still not? Oh my God, the dude's still in my house. Fucking get in your car and leave, dickhead.
Teams everybody wants to see. This is kind of their barometer. And we heard it from Justin Allgaier. He said, okay, this is going to dictate how the playoffs go. So far, it's been pretty tame. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of side-by-side, roughing it up, aggressive driving.
It's causing my dog to bark.
Laps, the teams are also going to figure out how much wear they had on these tires. What they need to do if there's adjustments that need to be made.
I hear you!
Came back on the radio and said, hey, I think I kind of made that right rear tire a little bit angry there. And obviously, they're going to not only look at the tires, but also potentially some type of a leak that the 7 might have. And there is the caution as Austin Cindric was out.
My dad gave it to me because he didn't want to hear the dog bark anymore.
Caution.
Come on, get in here.
Allmendinger, they had driven off like a 6-second lead over Daniel Hemrick in third. So clearly, right now, these two have the best cars. But what I've seen in these Xfinity races is because there's no practice, there is a tremendous opportunity to make your car better. Like, there is so much opportunity to come in or pit stop, make a change to your car, and make the driver happy. And if you're running 9th, 10th, or 11th, your day's not over. Like, you got a lot of opportunity in order to get it better.
A lot still in front of these drivers. And we talk about the drivers and maybe where they cut their teeth. Some cut their teeth at NASCAR, the Coca-Cola iRacing Series. It's already into its 12th season. The last playoff race is going to be Talladega. That's Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on eNASCAR.com. There are 12 playoff drivers vying for one of the 4 spots in the finale. That's going to be October 12th at Phoenix. And remember, the champion earns $100,000 for eNASCAR iRacing. Dave.
Guys, all 3 colleague racing cars prepared for this race at home. They didn't have any practice this weekend to get ready for this race. So what did they do to make sure the cars were ready, shaken down, nothing falling off, everything working? Well, Alex Jans, crew chief for Justin Haley, gets in every single colleague car once it's ready to go to the track, puts on a helmet, puts the radio on, makes sure that everything is right on the race car. Where does he drive it? Well, around the campus of Richard Childress Racing and Colleague Racing, which is in Welcome, North Carolina. So if you see a race car on a street that's sort of off the main road there, going around and around at RCR, it's probably Alex Jans making sure everything is just right before they get to the track. And of course, once they race for 25 laps, Rick, they want to know how to adjust on that race car.
Yeah, they do. Well, we see Justin Allgaier, and he's going to make his way onto pit road. Obviously, they've got some questions that they want answered about the handling of that race car and what's going on.
Yeah, they have 5 sets of tires for today, 4 in the pit. So putting a set on now, Kelly, would put them behind later in the race.
Well, I believe this is just purely to see if they can figure out what is going on with the 7 car. You see the crew members climbing underneath it. So I don't know what other servicing they will do, if any, to this race car other than just purely trying to diagnose if they have a leak, where it's coming from.
So what they're looking at is the rear gear is back in that area. You could have a rear end grease leak. You could have grease coming out of a wheel bearing.
Oh shit, Allgaier's got issues, bro.
And a lot of times that's indicated by maybe a shiny tire on that side if there was something like that. So the crew's gonna take a look at that and we'll be right back for the restart.
Who does that? Just wait at the door. Yeah, like leave my food. Like, I always hate talking to the drivers, so it's just like leave my food and go. My dad went and got it because he just heard them knocking. Because I wasn't going to get it, so... Your dog is MCing in the show. She's what?
There's nothing like competing for your country. The pressure. This is what I love, the passion. The pride. Who will take home the Ryder Cup? On NBC and Peacock.
The hell is my fucking...
Put the keys down, Kevin. But
oh, I was sitting on it.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving. I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes. 26. Yep, I'm definitely going to Colorado.
What did you order? I ordered 3 double cheeseburgers and a regular cheeseburger. Because I'm fat. I have a feeling that Larson will sweep Las Vegas tomorrow. Oh, you mean like all 3 stages? Yeah, I can see that. I still need to do my fantasy picks. I haven't done them yet. I'll do them out later.
Get your tickets now. SuperDirtWeek.com. NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Credit One.
Oh, my dog was filling in while I was gone. That's cute.
And by Toyota. Kelly.
Look at her.
All right, so checking in on the leader, Austin Cindric, who's led all the.
Oh shit! She came right up to the chair.
The team told him about the line he was running.
You trying to fill in for the live stream, Sheena? You trying to make sure that there's always somebody at the ready? Were you being a good girl?
So that was in reference to AJ Allmendinger.
Are you being a streamer?
Him for the beginning of this race. Austin Cindric saying that his 22
Are you being a streamer, Sheena?
To start this race.
Here's the decision they have to make. They'll go either to the inside or outside of that arrow and box on the racetrack. That's located about 2 seconds past the start-finish line. That's where they will make the determination.
All right, guys, so the first gamble of the playoffs right here. Jeremy Clemens came into these playoffs.
Sheena, get back.
Really
You're not getting my food.
All the other teams he's competing against. So how do you beat him?
Back the fuck off. You hear me?
Run the most laps this year. He's done a great job of being
You can back the fuck off, Sheena.
Said, you know what? I was under 18.
Sheena, you can back the hell off.
I'm going to put a set of tires on right here, right now. And he's going to try to drive himself through the field to see if he can get himself in the top 10 to get some playoff points.
Is that worth it?
Getting some stage points. So great move right here by Jeremy Clemens.
He described Las Vegas. He said it's Sin City, roll of the dice, and already they're rolling the dice. All right.
You have Ryan Newman?
With the 7.
She didn't hear this guy? He has Ryan Newman winning tomorrow. I mean, it'd be awesome. I'd love to see it.
Maybe it pushed a little out of the overflow on the gear. You're on the rear end housing, but not much. Like it might have got up to temperature and it, pushed a little bit out.
Why look? I already gave you a bite.
It's brand new, right? It's completely full, and it just had a little bit too much. And when it got hot, it pushed a little bit of rear end grease out of the rear end. But they don't think it's a major problem. They think that is not going to be an issue for the rest of the race.
Just like a radiator, it's got an overflow.
It's not pressurized. It literally will just push it out.
Just a little bit if it's too much.
Correct.
And so that's what they think happened with the 7. Getting ready for the restart here. Cindric on the inside, or actually Cindric on the outside, and AJ Allmendinger on the inside, and a wreck.
Oh! Oh, man. Holy shit, that was a big one.
Is that Riley Herbst? I think I saw Riley Herbst in it.
Playoff implications.
36 driven by Alex LeBay.
Holy shit.
Okay, so here's the negative to the gamble. You see Riley Herbst, he's got big damage to his car.
Sheena, that was a big one.
Drivers in that wreck, all with big
yeah, fuck you, Riley.
And they get down, they're going down to the corner here into turn one, and looks like they get 3 wide.
Look at this shit. Everyone just crashed. Everyone just like, look. And they just all go. They all go kaboom. It's like Talladega shit. Oh my god. That shit was crazy.
There it all is right there.
Right there, comes together. 5 wide, yeah. Nowhere to go. Josh Berry was stuck right in the middle of nowhere to go.
And that, we talked about Jeremy Clemens, right? And that's the negative to starting in the back. But that's about where he was. He was running 18th anyway. Let's ride along with Riley Herbst. Got this great air car cam.
Now inside, 3 wide, 3 wide.
That was a huge crash.
Big wreck here.
That's big damage. That's I have some memories from that. You see right there, they just all got crowded together.
And that's what we talked about earlier. The mistakes,
It's a lot like
where will the mistakes be made, and how will they?
the IndyCar crash here.
Goes around, and Jeremy Clements is a great example. Just got caught
Except cars aren't flying, you know.
You said it before we started this race, is that drivers getting in the playoffs and saying, I got to step it up. I got to do more. I got to find a way to be better. And sometimes when you do that, you cross that edge.
You heard it. We're done. Window net came down. Riley's going to be climbing out of that car, Dave.
And it was the right front upper control arm that they were concerned about. Guys, you can tell us most every part is important on these race cars, but that was broken, and that's why you got the word, we are done.
Just the impatience. You would expect.
Can't go 4 or 5 wide, yeah. This ain't Talladega, baby.
Where the sun is, where you don't have as much of a visual. But this is just getting up the song here, and these guys just a little bit impatient, not giving each other enough room to operate. And boy, I tell you, that's a big one.
Riley's a really nice young man. He's had a tough year, and his team has been really good, trying to help him.
Oh yeah, Riley's a nice guy, but he's a shit driver. And he's taking away rides from people who actually deserve it, so fuck him.
That has been tough. 2 top 5s in the last 2 races, so coming in with some momentum, but it's not the start they wanted for the playoffs.
He was seeded 11 before the start of this race with only 1 playoff point and not the finish that Riley Herbst was looking for. We'll be back with more.
That motherfucker's crazy.
Brings me peace. The work is 100% cathartic for me. I find myself getting tied up in it and being busy, and then it's really nice just to sit, breathe in life. It's beyond zen.
Yeah, I just saved a whole lot of money by switching to Geico.
Huh. We should take a closer look at Geico.
Geico insures...
Didn't I have another burger?
Boats, motorcycles, even RVs. Geico insures RVs? What's an RV?
I swear I had another burger, Sheena. Did you eat it?
5 years?
Oh wait, no, I ate
I'm
it.
not a real moose.
I'm fat.
This, Jeff.
We're stickers.
I'm not a real moose.
I literally actually did forget that I just ate that burger.
What's a sticker? Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
Is it too early to start celebrating Halloween? Well, if you're celebrating by eating Reese's, then...
Maybe tomorrow we'll Harvick wreck Chase. Bro, I'd love that. I mean, fuck. I would. No, I'd hope Chase wrecks Harvick.
Allergies don't have to be scary. Spraying Flonase daily stops your body from overreacting to allergens all season long. Psst, Flonase, all good.
In 2016, I was working at the Amazon warehouse when my brother passed away, and a couple of years later, my mother passed away. After taking care of them, I knew that I really wanted to become a nurse. Amazon helped me with training and tuition. Today, I'm a medical assistant, and I'm studying to become a registered nurse.
Sheena, stop! Get out of the fucking trash. What are you doing? Just go lay down. Come on.
We lost part of our forest to fire several years ago. We decided to stay and help it recover. People who have heavy machinery have the opportunity to...
Did I get him? No, fuck. I want the damn... I want to kill the fly.
We've been to the moon and through the glass ceiling.
How will wreck tomorrow? Harvick turns Elliott into the wall. I don't think anything's going to happen because drivers aren't like that anymore.
There's nothing like competing for your country. The pressure.
All drivers do is talk nowadays. They don't actually fucking do anything.
The pride. Who will take home the Ryder Cup? On NBC and Peacock.
Tomorrow, Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers and the 1-1 Packers visit George Kittle and that 2-0 49er team. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Football night in America on NBC and Peacock. So the second caution of the day comes out. It was on the restart after the competition caution. And Jeff Burton came in here.
I mean, I don't blame the flies for being in here. This fucking room is messy as shit. There's crumbs everywhere. It's like a fly fucking heaven.
Below that cut line. Herbst 30 and Clements 34. All drivers involved in this.
Yeah, a terrible week for Jeb. It was announced that the sponsor, Nutrient Ag, is not going to come back and for his team, and that leaves Jeb not knowing what his future looks like. He loves being at college. He's worked so hard to get this opportunity. He's done a nice job this year, but now he's in flux, Brad, and just doesn't know what his future looks like. And, you know, this is heartbreaking, right?
Yeah.
To have that, and then now this, on this day, just a heartbreaking few days for Jeb.
Really a tough time for Jeb, and over the last several seasons, it's been the same. You know, it's been every season he gets to the end of the year and he doesn't quite know what he has. And he was so excited about this opportunity. He done a great job for these guys.
I don't think Harvick should really be mad at Chase.
It's very unfortunate.
You know?
He's a resilient young man. He'll bounce back.
He was racing.
Brady was excited about the race today.
And then Harvick was being a bitch. And then Chase made sure he didn't win. So
works well for Jeb, and he said what they tried worked really well on the simulator earlier in the week, so he was feeling super optimistic. Now, if there's anything for him to remain optimistic about, it's the tracks ahead. Talladega, where he's got his win, and he feels very confident with this organization, Kaulig Racing, who is so strong on the super speedways, and he said the Roval as well. They've always scored good stage points there. So for Jeb, he still has a lot to look forward to in these next two races of this first round.
Look at how many cars involved in this.
you don't put most popular driver on the wall and then knock it on everyone's shit list. Exactly.
But again, second caution of the race. This one a pretty big one at the restart.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
One crispy Kentucky.
How did you react in 2017 when Logano turned Kyle Busch and Kyle punched Logano? So honestly, you're probably going to be surprised when I say this, but I'm not mad at Logano for doing that. I'm not, you know?
Is it too early to start celebrating?
It's just him trying to race. I thought it was just a racing incident that got taken too far. But at the same time, I also don't blame Kyle Busch for punching the shit out of him. Like,
just one race to go. The championship is far from done. It's time to say hello, hello. Alex Palou wins now.
yeah, I'm not mad at Logano for that.
What a day tomorrow will be for us race fans. IndyCar Championship at the Grand Prix of Long Beach is going to be at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Then, of course, countdown to green for the Cup Series at 6 o'clock. A little night racing here from Vegas. That'll be at 7 o'clock. And then our NASCAR America post-race show at 10:30. So we saw those three drivers below looking for a championship and a reward. 35 points back, but really Joseph Newgarden on the outside looking in. It's below, really, that he has his destiny in front of him.
He really does. Great opportunity. What a difficult racetrack. That is a very challenging racetrack. And what a great year it's been in that series. They've had some incredible races, some scary wrecks. It's been a fun year.
Been a blast, and then Palou has 3 wins this season. You're looking at O'Ward and Newgarden, they both have 2. It's actually Palou's to lose, but it's also O'Ward and Newgarden's to gain. If they go after
Denny Hamlin did Chase Elliott and paid a huge price for it. The same thing. I think that was just a racing incident. I think he was trying to go for a win, and I don't like. So many people have issues when drivers wreck other drivers for a win. I don't. I think wrecking other drivers to try to win a race, that's just, you know, I'd do it. I'm not gonna lie, I would do it.
Just wrapping up here. Go around again before they make the decision as to
But then again, like I said, at the same time, I also don't blame Chase Elliott for being mad. You know, I don't blame Denny Hamlin for doing it, but I also don't blame Chase Elliott for being mad at him. You know,
There are a lot of points out there. We got, you know, a lot of our playoff contenders. They are in the top 10, going to be.
And yeah, payback is definitely warranted when that
Get
happens.
some points.
And it's also, you know, the misfortune of others.
So here's how I like. I think you can wreck a driver for the win if it's on the final lap. You know, if it's like before the final lap, don't do it.
Gets a better restarting position. Now he's almost back up in the mix.
And also, if you're gonna wreck a driver for the win, make sure you actually win. You know, like.
Who's going to be the first guy to pick the inside and try to pick up some spots, and then can it work for him? I mean, it's a little bit of gambling time, right?
And you can't wreck your teammate for a win. You can bump and run your teammate, but you can't wreck your teammate.
And don't think for a minute that doesn't put a little bit of self-doubt in your head. Man, I don't want to be that guy. But at the same time, if you want to get points, you're going to have to be aggressive.
Gotta go get them.
One of those drivers that you said had an issue, standing by with Dave.
And that is Jeff Burton talking to him way too soon today. What'd you see?
Some 4 wide, I guess. I hadn't really seen a replay yet, but not really sure why 2 cars up there, 98. I don't know. It looked like we all met there, but I don't really think we need to be 4
that was
wide
a
to get
big
into
crash.
one on lap 26. So I don't know.
Because Riley Herbst is an idiot. That's why.
Needed a good
Was
run
it Riley's fault?
We'll go
Probably
to
was.
Talladega next week and go win a race.
How much comfort is there knowing that that's where your win came this year and how good Kaulig runs?
Oh
on
no,
this
that
track?
wasn't
Yeah,
really
you know, we won there.
Riley's fault.
Almost won Daytona a couple weeks ago, so I know I can.
All right, so we're gonna have a sprint to the finish of stage 2 or stage 1.
Go get it done next week and then go to the Roval.
He's confident.
It's gonna be 6 to go, I think.
Yeah, in the hole now that he's in.
When you drive a Kaulig car and you're going to Talladega and you're the defending winner, yeah, your year is not over. I mean, he can go win this race. They'll make it 3 wide on the last lap and not let anybody get by him. We saw him do it at Daytona.
Yeah.
So his year is not over, and he knows it.
We saw A.J. Allmendinger guys take that outside lane.
Yeah, you see, Gibbs was the first guy. He was running third. Allmendinger and
Was it Harvick or Busch that Truex spun it after the last corner? I don't remember that.
I love it. He's got Noah Gragson down there on the bottom with him. Hey, oh, they're going to be digging. This is going to be great. Justin Haley, I think you're right, Jim.
Like, I hate Kevin Harvick. I really do. But it was like in New Hampshire 2018 when he did that bump and run on Kyle Busch to win. I don't have a problem with that move at all. Like, yeah, I don't like Harvick and I wish he didn't win. But, you know, that's racing. You bump and run drivers.
Everybody kind of spun their tires a little bit. I know that
You got a problem with it? Don't fucking race.
Better run than I did in turn 1, so I tried to shade down and give him the room he deserved because he got to the restart box better than I did. Yeah, here we go. Jump to the outside, try to block a little bit, gave it back to him, and then 4 wide, 5 wide into turn 1. Doesn't always usually work out here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So that's a real bummer. We fired off pretty loose, but I thought we were going to get the South Point Ford Mustang a little bit better and have something to contend with. But I guess we'll go to Talladega where who knows what will happen.
Yeah, the hole's a little bit deeper, but how do you look forward?
I mean, the only thing really to do is go to Talladega and try to race. We've led every single play track we've been to this year, so led some laps, so I'm a little confident in that area. It's just,
it just sucks, man. Just
Have at it, boys. Exactly.
South Point and Ford and Monster Energy coming back here, back home, and to be wrecked out like that in stage 1 just really sucks.
Rick? They added a lap, and so we're back around again for the restart. Very unfortunate, obviously, for Riley Herbst here in his hometown.
Yeah, but after you watch that again, initially we all said the same thing, no 4, no 5 wide. But you hear Riley Herbst talking there, and everyone spun their tires. Jeff, I think it was more just a racing incident than anything. I mean, we can always nitpick, but I just think the guys were racing hard. You spin your tires, you have nowhere to go.
I think Jeb said it the best. They all just kind of came together, right? You had guys on the bottom that were kind of moving up to the top, and guys on the top that were making room for the guys above them, and they just all kind of came together. It's hard for a spot. It's hard to know if you're 5 wide, somebody 2 cars below you. It's very hard to know what's going on 2 cars on the outside of you.
Already carnage at the start of the playoffs for the Xfinity Series. 3 drivers involved in the playoffs out. We'll see how much help Cindric will give to A.J. Allmendinger. He's right behind him as...
Back green.
Underway. Hemrick pushing the 20.
Remember in 2011? In the Truck Series when Kyle Busch turned Hornetti out of frustration? Yep, and he was totally in the wrong for that. I will not defend Kyle Busch for doing that.
Side of the 54, Ty Gibbs. So he's up to 3rd now. Harrison Burton also on the outside.
He deserved to be parked after that.
I think we answered a little bit there.
Still love Kyle, obviously. It's never going to change, but...
It's really hard to slow down that momentum.
And surprisingly, Jeff, you mentioned it. Only 4 laps to go now till the end of the stage. And they pay the...
I don't think there's anything Kyle Busch could do that would make me not like him. I mean, unless if he, like, hit his wife or some shit. But...
Hemrick up to 2nd now.
Oh, he is flying down into turn 3, too. He is coming like a freight train.
He killed somebody. Nah, I think even if he killed somebody, I'd probably still like him. I'd just be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hemrick and his team being really good on these 1.5 miles.
Now 3 laps to go in stage 1 as Hemrick trying to chase down A.J. Allmendinger just in front of him.
Don't know if he'll get by him, but I think he's going to catch him. I mean, he is absolutely hauling the mail, trying to run down that 16 car.
Like I said, I'm the biggest Kyle Busch fan there is, but he's done a lot of dumb shit over the years. He really has, and you can't deny that.
Coming up on 2 laps to go in stage 1. The gap still about 0.4 of a second.
Could be a prelude. Remember these guys in March. AJ and Hemrick finished 1 and 2. Daniel had a strong day that day, led 74 laps. Just had a couple of mishaps and got away from him. So it's a big day for him. And I picked him to win.
I was going to say, Brad, I know you also have said that he's going to get his first win potentially right here.
Absolutely.
And coming up on 1 to go now for this stage 1. Gap still right around a half a second between Allmendinger and Hemrick.
AJ uses that lap car to, as a little bit of a chicane there. Smart veteran move by the driver.
So Allmendinger, Hemrick, Cindric, Gibbs, and Gregson, the top 5. Again, those running for a championship in the Xfinity Series will get...
So AJ is going to win stage number 1.
And it looks as though it's going to be another stage win for Allmendinger. That's another playoff point.
Experienced race car driver in AJ Allmendinger. Smart race
Caution's
car driver,
out.
taking advantage of the opportunities.
So of the playoff drivers that are not wrecked, Myatt Snider, Justin Haley, and Allgaier, they're the 3 that did not get points.
A.J. Allmendinger, after the wreck, right after the competition caution, he was out front, didn't get affected by it, and wins stage 1 in Las Vegas.
Innovation usually looks something like this. But what if it didn't? What if it looked like a family truck that powers a family home? Or an ordinary drive made extraordinary? Let's change what innovation looks like. From floating around in your own personal space capsule up here to what we could build for all Americans. down here.
What year of Kyle Busch's winning seasons? What's your top 5? You mean like what top 5 favorite Kyle Busch seasons? Are you asking? 2019, obviously, and then 2015 would be second. Third would probably be 2013. Then 2018.
It's better than that presentation.
And then probably like 2016.
Whether it's a fraction or a decimal, it's still fun, you know?
Or 2011. Nah, 2011 was better than 2016.
Get ready for the latest shows and movies with Verizon.
I can tell you what seasons I hate. 2012 sucked. 2014 sucked. Last year sucked. This year sucks.
Black Panthers with an imposter and a hero without a weapon. All ready for you. Watch live and on demand at home or even on the go with Fios TV Mobile. Showtime, Stars, FX, HBO Max, Cinemax. Get ready to get watching. Go to Channel 860 to order premium networks.
Do you have a car
I wasn't
or
won
SUV to sell?
in
If so,
almost
Bill
3
Rapp
months.
wants to buy it. All makes, all
It's been almost,
models, even with a
yeah,
few
in like
dings.
3 days, it'll be
$1 for your vehicle,
3
even if
months
you don't
since
buy
Kyle
it
Busch
online.
last
Go to
won.
BillWrap.com to share vehicle photos.
That's
and
too damn
get
long,
a
Sheena.
offer in just a few hours. Then bring it into any Bill Rapp dealership, finish up the paperwork, and to pick up your check. Or if you prefer, we'll come to you. Get fast cash for your car at Bill Rapp.
Always a great deal. Always the smart choice.
NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit GoCreditOne.com. And by Ford, built Ford proud. Stage 1 complete of the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs from Las Vegas. The Alsco Uniforms 302. Take a look at the stage points for the drivers. Allmendinger, Hemrick driving 10 and 9 respectively. Cindric 8. Again, a playoff point is awarded for a stage win, so that's another one for A.J. Allmendinger. Only 6 of the 12 playoff drivers got stage points. Let's go check in with our Hall of Famers down on pit road. Actually, before we do that, it looks like the cars are about to come to.
When do you think when do you think Bubba Wallace will finish a race or win a race?
Everybody's coming down. Allmendinger's leading the way. Kelly.
As much as it sucks to say, never. Now he could win like a Daytona or Talladega, but I love Bubba. I really do. That's why it's sad to say that, but it's just probably not gonna ever happen.
Daniel Hemrick is second in the 8.
He could win like Martinsville. I could see him doing that, you know.
Too tight, still a little wiggle in the back of the car. He'll get an adjustment for that.
But maybe I'm talking too soon. Like it's his first year with 2311, you know. It's only his first year with a brand new team. So maybe I'm just jumping the gun.
The back of the car is really solid, just a little bit tight going into each turn.
Because I know Bubba's a good driver. I know he is. But it's just sad. I think him having a teammate next year will help him out a lot. Because he hasn't really, his entire Cup career, he hasn't had like a teammate. You know? Maybe that's what he needs. He needs like a teammate, somebody to help him out.
It's all about survival. We're seeing
Because at Richard Petty Motorsports, it was just him. Marcus Ambrose is already gone, you know?
With AJ and Cindric and Hemrick, but these guys getting through this first round, I think it's just all about not crashing, not doing anything stupid on pit road, and just having a good day.
Yeah, but once they throw that green flag on these restarts, we see them 3, 4, and almost 5 wide there, and things are going to happen there. The other thing that I saw was Ty Gibbs, Ryan Sieg, Josh Berry, and Brett Moffitt taking valuable points away from some of the other playoff drivers. So it's going to continue like that. This is going to be a battle, but making mistakes is the worst thing you can do in this first round.
Well, the ones that aren't making mistakes, you look at the cut line, guys around it, like a Myatt Snyder. This is an opportunity for a driver like that who's young, looking to make
make a name for himself in this series to try to take advantage of the misfortune of these drivers and try to move beyond this round. It's a great opportunity for guys like him.
Yeah, it really is. And he was 3 wide there at that last lap of that stage to try to get 1 point there. But Maya did a great job setting himself up here for hopefully a good run.
Well, one of the drivers...
Curtis would help him,
crash,
yeah.
Jeremy Clements is going to suffer a lot of lost points in his chance to advance into round 2. Dave's caught up with him.
Yeah, Junior, and others made mistakes in front of Jeremy Clements, who appeared to have a good plan. Come down, get fresh rubber, but then he got caught up. What'd you see?
It's all hell broke loose. Man, I'm just shocked, bummed. We didn't get to see what our first Pacific Funding Chevy was capable of. We were really loose start, got tires. I feel like I was gonna come on the outside and blow through half of them right there and go up there and get some stage points. But that didn't work out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see if our first Pacific Funding Chevy would be as fast 6 feet on the internet. I hate it for Steve Corns, Jeff O'Day, everybody. It was Vivian's birthday, the boss's wife. It was her birthday today, so we didn't do a good job. But wow, yeah, it looks like a freaking wreck at Daytona. But hate it for our guys, hate it for our partners. We'll just be strong next week and try to rebound somehow.
Were you in full shade, or was the sun any factor coming down the straightaway into that?
No, past that point we were fine. It's just coming off 4 where you couldn't see great. But yeah, I didn't have any problems with that then.
All right, on to Talladega for Jeremy. A chance to dig out when he gets there, guys.
Unfortunate for Jeremy Clements. When we talked to him earlier this week, he made the comment, there's nothing to lose. You know, they're the underdogs. 4 full-time employees with that organization, and they're hoping to get anything they can out of these playoffs.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right here. We've got Noah Gragson got penalized, drove through too many boxes, getting into his pit box. That's a big penalty for him. They had a good pit stop, they had good track position.
My steering wheel popped off on pit road, tell that.
39 also.
You hear what he just said?
Yeah, steering wheel popped off.
That's fucking scary.
Let's lock in.
So now we're talking, that's just what we're talking about earlier in the show, the mistakes, okay? Mistakes. And then you look at the converse side of that. A.J. Allmendinger just wins his 10th stage, the most of anyone this season. He continues to put the building blocks in place to win this championship. Everyone else making these small mistakes.
Well, listen, that's a mistake, but the fact that it came off on pit road and not on the racetrack is huge. I mean, how it came off, I don't understand how it could have come off if it was never latched. That could have been catastrophic. Front row here, both of these guys, they pitted earlier. They were involved in that incident. Both of them took 4 tires. Ty took 4 on lap 37. Brown took 4 on lap 33. So front row on older tires.
They chose outside and inside here. So Ty Dillon in the 31 on the outside, and Brandon Brown.
I bet there will be a lot of big ones at Talladega for all 3 NASCAR series, yeah. Is that next week, or
fresher tires?
When is Talladega?
Spinning the tires, Brandon Brown.
Yeah, Brandon Brown, what you doing, my man?
You're not allowed to get out of line before the start-finish line, so he had to stay behind Brandon. Brandon Jones in the 19 is going to make the move.
Yeah, when is Talladega?
To get by and move up to 3rd.
Is it Kansas next week? I don't even know what's next week. Oh, Talladega is next week. Good, good, good.
Look at the inside also.
Fun times.
Brown putting up a good fight on those older tires.
Emmerich right on the back bumper now of that 31.
Talladega is like awesome.
Away from him, he goes to the high line. Probably just a matter of time before Hemrick's able to get by with the fresher tires.
Look at this man.
3 and 4 wide behind him. Again here at Vegas.
Jim, why at this point would you be racing this hard at the beginning of stage 2 if you're these guys? I mean,
there's no choice. I mean, you got to go. Like, look at Allmendinger. Look where he was a little bit ago. I mean, he is falling way back. I mean, you just got to go. You got to mash the gas and get all you can.
Ty Dillon?
Allmendinger still trying.
Ty Dillon's in this race? Holy shit.
He does. He moves to the inside. Myatt Snyder on the inside there as well. But look at the momentum A.J. Allmendinger's carrying off the turn.
I'm going to roll blunt. Yeah, caution's out. Oh, Ryan Sieg, he's all fucked up.
In the 39, as the back bumper coming on. Must have been some contact there.
The bumper cover off of the back of it.
Ryan Sieg, another one of those family-owned teams. Only 7 full-time employees for the 39 team.
Gets down in the corner and just comes around on him, Jeff.
Yeah, just loose. I talked about that lateral grip. That's what it looks like when you don't have it. It just, nothing to lean on. It just round it goes. Fortunately, it's all right there. Yeah, I can't tell who that is that got into him. Jake Buford, maybe?
Possibly the 48. And so, damage to the 39. The caution back out once again, meaning another restart, which has been crazy here in Vegas.
Riders, the lone wolves of the Great Highway. All they need is a bike and a full tank of gas. Their only friend, the open road.
I have friends.
Well, he may have friends, but he rides alone.
That's Jeremy right there. We're literally riding together.
He gets touchy when you talk about his lack of friends.
Can you help me out here?
No matter why you ride, Progressive has you covered with protection starting at $79 a year.
Well, we need friends, to be fair. And still.
I need to try it first.
Yeah.
One crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich for you. And a delicious crispy spicy one for whoever needs a little kick in the keister. Get the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich in classic or spicy for just $3.99. It's finger-licking good.
A lot of people think dealing with COPD is a walk in the park. If I have something to help me breathe better, everything would be fun and nice. But I still have bad days, flare-ups, which can permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups. So, it's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real protection of Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and flare-up protection. It's the first and only COPD medicine proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and
Talladega, though, has become the least exciting of the two restrictor plate tracks. Like, I feel like Daytona's become, like, the best.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
I love you.
I mean, obviously, I think my prediction for Talladega is it's actually going to be pretty, like, boring for most of the race. And then towards the end, that's when it's going to get, obviously exciting. It's going to be survival. Probably going to be single file for most of the race.
Are you ready to win $25,000? Well, the free-to-play Jackpot Races app is here to make that happen. With expert analysis, live in-race tracking of your picks, and racing experience. Boom, hit the jackpot. Go to your Apple Store or Google Play and download the Jackpot Races app today. Kelly.
Rick, just a quick update on the 19 of Brandon Jones. He had been running third when we went to break. They came to pit road under this yellow. Brandon felt a vibration that had not previously been there in the car. They brought him to pit road, topped him off with fuel, and hit the lug nuts on the right rear. Crew Chief Jeff Mendering just telling Brandon, hey, we had one wheel in question. We didn't want to take any chances. He will now restart 22nd. But Brandon said on the radio, that is the right call.
Big picture, looking at that. And Jeff, this restart was so critical for so many of these drivers.
Well, check out Justin Allgaier back here in 7, but look at, in third position, look at Allmendinger, right? So, here they go. Brandon Brown has older tires. They drop the green flag. A.J. Allmendinger wants to make a move, but he can't. By rule, you can't change lanes until you get to the start-finish line. He couldn't do anything. He had to slow down. So then, Justin Allgaier, as soon as he got to the line, because he had forward momentum, he just drove to the bottom. And now, Allmendinger's stuck in the middle, right? So, he's got Harrison Burton on the outside of him. Ty Gibbs coming. Now he's got Allgaier on the bottom of him. Look at Cindric coming up on the outside. He's stuck on the bottom with negative momentum and lost a ton of spots. But there's nothing he could have done different. There really is not a thing you can do. You can't pass till you get to the start-finish line, and you just got stuck behind him, Dave.
As you would imagine, that made AJ just a little upset.
Gonna any damage on the front? I mean, I was walking the front direct up, trying to not run into him. No damage, man. All good. All good. Same guys every week. It's the only time he can get on TV, so it's all good, dude. Take a deep breath.
I'm telling you, this first stage plus has been quite an adventure for AJ. Not sure about his car early, but fast wins the stage. And then right there, that could have been the end of the day, or at least slowed down his progress. Now he's got to make it back from his current running position of 10th.
We have to remember that when these playoffs started, 44 points for AJ Allmendinger and the 22 of Austin Cindric. The gap is not that wide between first all the way down to 12th. So every point is mattering for these drivers. They don't want to fall below that cut line.
That's exactly right. You know, we've talked about the gap that, you know, over in the Cup side, Kyle Larson has been able to create. The gap that Cindric and Allmendinger, they haven't been able to create that gap.
Sheena, can you stop snoring?
They've both been winning races. They haven't, you know, they've spread that wealth. So they haven't created the gap like we see in the Cup side. Now listen, that a caution is good for some people and bad for others. Always. One winner in that was Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson got penalized driving through too many boxes. That caution came out. Now he's back in 14th. So that caution helped him get caught up.
That did. That gave you some track position. But if you think about it, we're talking about that gap. We've only been through 2 stages, and we've got 6 playoff drivers that have had problems. So that gap could be widening through self-carnage.
All right, getting ready to choose inside or outside. Looks like Daniel Hemric's going to be on the front row. He'll be on the inside. Ty Dillon will be on the outside.
I honestly think that took Harrison.
Is this the day for Daniel Hemric?
Burton thought that Daniel Hemric was going to go on the outside. He went to the bottom, and I think if Harrison had to do that again, he would have taken the top. I really think he thought he was going to the top.
So Daniel Hemric still has not won in any of the 3 series of NASCAR, and he's run in all of them. And Brad, you had this pick earlier, and Denny Hamlin's going to agree with you. It's DH's night. I feel it.
Yeah. Right, but Denny's a brilliant race car driver. Brilliant mind, another Mensa member, so we all think alike. Way to go, Denny.
Well, Denny Hamlin might be talking about Denny Hamlin at the table tonight. He might be talking about himself.
I'm not picking Denny at the table, but I'm picking him tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah. Well, Daniel Hemric looking for that first win. He said, you know, their weaknesses have been, maybe they've been a little too content, but he said their strengths is that they're hungry. They are very hungry to get that win.
You can hear it in his mind. You can hear it in Daniel's voice when you talk to him. He wants to win that race so bad, and this is a great opportunity.
Daniel Hemric, this is a great opportunity for him. We know that Ty Gibbs has older tires on the outside, but he's got to get a great launch. It all starts right here in the Geico restart zone is when he's got to get a great launch to get by Ty Dillon.
So Dillon on the outside and Daniel Hemric on the inside. Going for the restart again. 31 laps to go in stage 2.
Back green.
Much better restart, guys. And another thing to think about, you can see the shade. The shade is on the front stretch. So, Jeff, as you pointed out earlier, there's a little grip coming in as that track cools off just a little bit. We saw better restart, not as many tires spin.
So Daniel picked that inside. Look at this move.
Josh Berry in the 1, subbing for Michael Annette.
Haven't we seen enough moves? I mean, we can't even get a half a lap. We're talking about looking at this move. Just relax, guys. Just a couple of laps.
Here comes Harrison Burton on the outside. Hemric falling back now. He's fighting for 4th. Cindric on his outside.
Cindric right there on that right rear quarter panel. That makes Hemric's car very uneasy on corner exit. Car moves around a lot. Doesn't make grip.
Here comes Ty Gibbs in the 54, also putting pressure on that 18.
About the number 1 of Josh Berry, guys. I mean, this guy, national champion last year, gets a great opportunity, takes advantage of it. In this race today, Sutter for Michael Annette, and is doing a heck of a job.
Watch out. 2022, he's going to run full time. That man's going to be a threat for the championship.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Yeah, got his first win at Martinsville running for Junior Motorsports.
Hey, we can talk about that a lot. That's cool. But Ty Dillon leading this race on a little bit older tire. Doing a great job out in front of this pack. Look who's behind him. Some of the playoff favorites. He's able to keep them behind him right now. Great job.
So Hemric take the apron there. Nothing's off limits here at Las Vegas.
Jordan Anderson, car owner for this car. Truck owner, driver. He's come to the Xfinity Series. Has put a lot of really good race car drivers in his cars to help build this race team.
Interestingly enough, Ty Dillon went from Cup Series driving to not knowing what he was going to do. This is his 4th straight start in the Xfinity Series. That's the longest run he's been on this season, and right now he's trying to hold off a run by the 7 of Justin Allgaier.
Oh, he's loose. You can see that back of that car dancing around. Hey, you get a guy like Ty Dillon that was in the Cup Series like you just mentioned, got moved out of the Cup Series trying to earn his way back in, ran some races for Joe Gibbs Racing earlier this year. It didn't go well. He's going to be a hard pass.
Yeah,
this guy right
this
here
is a big deal.
for his life.
This is a big deal, Jeff. You're exactly right. Ty is up on the wheel. He is going to drive that car as hard, make it as wide as he possibly can. He knows we're talking about him right now. So he's going to take every opportunity to let his star shine, and he's doing a great job right now.
A lot of battles all the way around the racetrack. Let's listen into Harrison Burton as he's talking about the 7 in front of him.
Big car, leaking oil again. What's new? Infoscopic may not be good to offset right then. Maybe this is safe bottom.
So once again, Harrison is saying that he thinks the 7, there is fluid coming out of it.
See, Allgaier jumped on the outside of 1 and 2, was able to get to that right rear quarter panel with Ty Dillon. Ty just couldn't put up a fight.
Jeff, when Harrison makes that comment, is that something on the windshield you're seeing, and you're saying, okay, it's got to be coming from the 7?
He's seeing it on the windshield, and he may be feeling it on the racetrack as well. You heard the spotter say, okay, then offset, maybe offset to the right, trying to help him get out of that oil. Back in the field, Joe Gibbs Racing teammates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think Hemrick just thought that Ty Gibbs will go out further to the wall right there. You can see Ty is loose.
A little bit of air off that left rear fender.
No harm, no foul, man. It's just racing.
Racing home.
You see the yellow stripe on that number 54 is Austin Cindric. Makes the move past Harrison Burton now and takes that spot away. Here comes the 54, Ty Gibbs. It's the grandson of Coach Gibbs. 3 wins already in 2021.
I wonder what's going on with his 20 car right here. He was just battling for second, and now he has fallen through the field. Looks really slow right now. Something's going on.
Well, we're on lap 67.
Jeff, he's been quiet
68.
on the radio so far, but we'll monitor it.
Well, that's not like a Burton.
First time a Burton's been quiet on the radio, and really close call there. Once again, teammates, as we saw Hemrick get right up next to that left rear quarter panel of the 20 of Burton. And so Harrison Burton, as he continues to fall backwards, now Josh Berry's going to try to get by him.
Yeah, something's going on here with this 20. He lost like 5 spots in just a couple laps.
Nice bounce back like we talked about for Noah Gragson. He's already up to 8th, 7th. He's cruising back up towards the top 5. And we pointed out earlier on, Allgaier had a mistake and had an issue, had to come down pit road, had the accident. He took advantage of that. He's got himself right back into the mix, and he's out front, pulling away.
Update on the 20, guys. He just radioed in as he was going out of turn number 2, very loose. And Jeff, to your point, that was somewhat of a sudden occurrence, remember, because he was riding behind the 7 at a little bit of a distance, worried about that oil, but then all of a sudden he knew it was his car that had the problem, loose.
Yeah, he thought he was hoping it was oil.
Now here comes Brett Moffitt in the 0-2. He's going to go by on the outside. Moffitt, a Truck Series champion, now running full-time in the Xfinity Series.
I swear to God, I never fall in love.
And how aboard they are. Well, this stage, you can see right here, 26 and 45 in this stage, and Harrison's running 7th, and as slow as he is right now, he could fall out of the top 10.
Coming up on 19 laps to go in stage 2. Allgaier is out front. Ty Dillon has fallen back to second. Cindric, Gibbs, and Hemrick all inside the top 5 as we go NASCAR nonstop.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. a Marine just out of basic, or a petty officer from 73. And even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who've honorably served and their families. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
I need 3 uncorked slushes. Adding strawberries to the sangria. Order up. Sonic uncorked slushes, ready for pickup.
When fire and water threaten your business, hand the cleanup over to the team that stays with you every step of the way in your journey back.
What do you think of the Raiders season so far? I don't know. I don't even know what their record is.
Like it never even happened.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
Let's see how they're doing.
My internet streams to my ride.
They're 2-0 so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that's good.
Mine's
But
always got my back.
so yeah, one thing I've learned is that it's not all based on record. It's based on how you're playing and how you're winning those games that you're winning. You know? It's like if you win some games just like, you know, kind of bullshitted your way through and just somehow won. That's not as impressive as just like killing a team.
Power is an iron fist. Ram power puts it in a velvet glove.
But if you're undefeated so far, then
with its legs. Ram power also lifts with its brains. Raw power gets it done. Ram power does what's never been done before by anyone. Discover Ram Power during Ram Power Days.
Get 0% financing for 72.
it seems like a lot of people have the Raiders like making it deep into the playoffs.
On Ram 1500 Bighorn.
I am where visions of grandeur meet grit and fire. A place where drivers discover what they are made of, and fans discover how they made it. I am where you must scrape beyond the surface in order to uncover greatness. Where 12 are whittled down to 1, and a champion shines through. I am the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. I am NASCAR.
You think Raiders Rams Super Bowl? I wish in the NFL they played at the Super Bowl. I wish it didn't have like a designated venue for the Super Bowl. I wish they played at like the team with the better record. I wish they played at that stadium.
Up front, it is Allgaier. He has a one.
See, it's like last year was stupid because it's like we finally had the Super Bowl winning team playing at their home stadium, but there wasn't as much fans there. There was limited capacity, so it's like, what the fuck?
13 in this state. We'll start with Dave.
Rick, how about a little Toyota driver update, and that'll be about the driver of the 54, Ty Gibbs. First time he's seeing Las Vegas Motor Speedway in any racing car. Crew Chief Chris Kisdale was telling me earlier today he was very impressed with all the film watching that Ty did this week, and he could tell he did that because of the questions he brought to Chris. They were things that you wouldn't find any other way than spending hours watching tape and understanding this racetrack and how an Xfinity car runs here. Good job by the 18-year-old so far today. A little bit of a tight race car running in fourth. As for the 0-2, Brett Moffitt, not in the playoffs. Remember, he was point-starved all year long because they didn't run the first 7 races as Xfinity Championship contenders. But he was always hopeful that he'd win and get into the championship playoffs. Didn't happen. So now guess what the rest of the year holds out? Win if you can. Brett Moffitt running in the top 10, Kelly.
And working the inside, trying to get around Brett Moffitt is that...
What'd I say? That's making you confuzzled.
To fill in for Michael Annett. Well, Michael Annett recovers from surgery following a fracture. Well, Josh told me he's treating this much like a playoff race as well. This car is still in it for the Owners' Championship. And Dave, just as you reported on Ty Gibbs at the top of the show, he thinks this
It's been a long race so far. We're not even halfway.
Get a sense for next year when he is full-time with Junior Motorsports of how the playoffs pick up. So he told me he was treating this not just because the car number 1 is still in the Owners' Championship, but he's looking to gain some playoff experience from this as well.
A lot of drivers looking at that possibility of playoff experience, knowing that they'll be coming back running full-time next year. We mentioned Josh Berry, one of those. Want to listen in to A.J. Allmendinger's radio in that 16.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's like a freaking chess match, man. It's like we didn't mean to get back there. You know what I'm saying, Frankie? It's like we didn't say, oh, let's go to 10. bring the pin back in the grenade. Hold on just a minute.
That's Channel 2 chatter among the team. The team has been known to talk off-channel from the driver, and right there it was, hey, we've lost him. We got to get this driver's head in the game. It's an A.J. Allmendinger trait that he needs to focus on that. And so sometimes President Chris Rice will talk about getting that driver back in the show on Channel 2. That's what that was all about.
Yeah, you know, I have a lot of experience with AJ. He drove for my Cup team for several years, and the one thing, AJ is so talented, ultra talented, but he can get a little bit on down.
Little fly.
And,
There's
Chris
a fly.
Rice does a great job of talking to AJ and getting him back up on the plane, so to speak. And yeah, it's tough, man. And Jeff, you know better than any of us. Driving these race cars is not an easy thing to do. Sometimes it's not going your way, but being positive is huge when you're struggling.
Well, right now he's struggling.
Take a deep breath, man. Just settle in and take what it gives you right here. We'll fix it. Ain't gaining nothing being frustrated.
Watch his hands here, Jeff. He's not happy at all.
Well, look. I mean,
wow.
Look at the workload in there. I mean,
He's screaming
sideways. I mean, you know, he drives underneath Haley, and yeah, he's frustrated. I mean, look at his hands. Look at the hand movement, and he's not happy. And you know, listen, I know this part of this game is mental. But you know what makes a driver get in the right place is a good driving car, and he ain't got it right now. I mean, you know, this isn't all about a driver just having to be in this happy place. What puts him in the happy place is a good driving car, and they've lost it. They don't have it right now.
He's able to pass Haley there. Almost a slide job there for A.J. Allmendinger. Here comes the momentum once again for Justin Haley. We'll see if he'll repay the pass. Can't do it as he goes the high line, and once again, A.J. down on the bottom of the racetrack again. These two fighting for the 9th position.
6 to go on the stage here.
6 laps to go in stage 2.
Well, it's frustrating because, you know, one thing we know about Allmendinger is he's paying attention, and he knows the biggest competition for this championship is that 22 of Cindric and that 7 of Algar. And where are they running? First and third. So that's part of the frustration as well.
And as we get down to these last few laps, the entire racetrack is in the shade. So, Jeff talked about it earlier, grip. We're going to start this last stage probably a little bit cooler than, obviously a little bit cooler than we started today, maybe 5, 6, 8, 9 degrees. Going to be under the lights, cooler racetrack. How do you keep up with the racetrack? What happens? And is that's what happening to AJ's car? Is it just losing overall grip as the track starts to cool off just a little bit?
It's been a long race so far.
Allmendinger once again fighting in that 9th position.
Over an hour, 10 minutes, not even at halfway.
Allgaier, Ty Dillon, Austin Cindric, 1, 2, and 3. Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, they're all in the top 5. And you're putting points in the bank at the end of every
Usually
stage.
the Xfinity races are at halfway at this point.
They can't take them away. They wreck out of this race, those points are still yours. And so that's the thing that these drivers that are in the playoffs, they want every point they can get to put in the bank.
Yeah, right now you got Harrison Burton, Maya Snyder, Brandon Jones are the 3 guys that are not going to get any points in this stage if it continues.
Allgaier threading the needle here as he goes in between 2 lap cars. Allgaier coming up on 2 to go now in stage 2. So many of these playoff drivers mentioned the difficulty of this first round of the playoffs for them. You come to Las Vegas, a 1.5-mile racetrack. There's going to be 2 more 1.5-mile racetracks of the 7 races that are run in the playoffs in Texas and Kansas, but this is really setting the tone. Then they go to Talladega for the 2nd race. Every driver mentioned that, the word chaotic, when you go to Talladega. And then it depends on how you feel about road racing. When you go to the Roval in Charlotte.
Could be the same. Could be chaotic there as well. And probably will be.
As Allgaier on the top of your screen, looking to grab his 3rd stage win of the 2021 season. And Cindric trying to get by Ty Dillon for that 1 more point.
So AJ, or Justin Allgaier is going to win the stage.
That he can gain in this stage.
Stage 2 winner, Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier across the start-finish line winning the stage, and Ty Dillon coming home 2nd. Austin Cindric will be 3rd. Las Vegas native Noah Gragson is 4th. Daniel Hemrick is 5th. Daniel says this is kind of a second home for
Caution's
him
out.
So much of a great relationship with the Gahn family here in Las Vegas. Some pretty tight racing in stage 2. More playoff drivers experiencing difficulties, but no problems for Justin Allgaier.
We took the truck that helped build this country and made it so it can power our homes. We took the vehicles businesses use to keep the lights on and made them run on the same thing that turns the lights on. We took the original 0 to 60 head turner and gave it 0 vehicle emissions. We took the familiar and made it revolutionary.
I need to try it first.
How do we stuff Reese's peanut butter, pretzels, caramel, peanuts, and chocolate into Reese's Take 5?
Wait a minute. How do we do it?
I'm tired of being left off company email. Can someone tell me how we do it? Not sorry. Reese's.
In 2016, I was working at the Amazon warehouse when my brother passed away, and a couple of years later, my mother passed away. After taking care of them, I knew that I really wanted to become a nurse. Amazon helped me with training and tuition. Today, I'm a medical assistant, and I'm studying to become a registered nurse. Hindi ko kayo makakalimutan.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of basic, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who've honorably served and their families. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
There's nothing like competing for your country. The pressure. This is what I love. The passion. The pride. Who will take home the Ryder Cup? On NBC and Peacock.
For the past 2 years, the Packers and the 49ers have seen their dreams cut short. But a new season brings a new chance to reach for glory. Sunday Night Football on NBC.
Next Saturday, NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs continue from Talladega Super Speedway. Again, all of the playoff drivers have mentioned chaos when they head there. That race coverage at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. Teams getting ready to make their way onto pit road. Crews getting ready to go to work. One more stage remains at Las Vegas in this first race of the playoffs. Kelly.
Austin Cindric will be the first to pull into his pit stall. He was running third, and he got pretty animated on the radio. Just feels like they don't have a motor, but the balance on that 22 car really good, so they're going to leave it alone unless they can get a little tape on the grill. The 7 in the middle of your screen, meanwhile, is Justin Allgaier. Pits from the lead. He said he was good everywhere except 3 off turn 4 getting into 1, Dave.
Gregson, and he told his crew really not to change the car. Feels like later on he might need an adjustment to free it up a little bit to keep up with the track, but he's been pretty happy with that night. Remember, came back after being shuffled back into 21st position.
Once again, you don't want to make mistakes on pit road. Allgaier, he's able to stay out front. Cindric grabs a spot. Hemrick grabs 2. We'll be back for the restart.
Some like you to think they still build the best trucks. But according to just about anybody who's handing out a trophy, Ram currently builds the best trucks. So if you're shopping for a truck today, here it is. If you're shopping in the past, well, good luck with that. Ram, the top brand in new vehicle quality in the entire automotive industry.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on select Ram 1500 models, or $3,550 in total values on Ram 1500 Bighorn.
need to try it first.
Welcome to Allstate, where savings from our new lower auto rates follow you everywhere. Now, get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
You're invited on a crisscrossing journey across the world of speed. The NASCAR playoffs continue at Las Vegas.
I can feel it, this expectation.
You should have listened to that one little feeling.
Gotta wonder what's next.
It's our only chance.
The world needs her.
I think I might have just pulled this off.
Really?
Am I interrupting?
Please enjoy.
Enjoy the HBO Max free preview event September 23rd through the 27th.
Its value better than any other brand and is a top safety pick? You got it. Subaru. The Bill Rapp Subaru sales team will help you find your next ride. Get exactly the vehicle you want by ordering your new vehicle today. We'll walk you through all of your options and find you the perfect vehicle for you. Now through September 30th, get 0% APR financing on select new 2021 models.
Good just flush,
Register trade-ins and get top dollar toward your next vehicle or walk away with cash.
Bill Rapp Subaru. Always a great deal. Always the smart choice.
You're watching NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs from Las Vegas. It's the Alsco Uniforms 302. Lights on here in the first race, first round for the Xfinity Series playoffs. And for more, let's go back to our Hall of Famers, DJ Dale Jr.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, DJ, this is always a fun racetrack, I thought, when we would come here. And one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much is because you can basically run anywhere on the racetrack you want to or wherever your car feels the best. And we see a lot of these guys running right on the fence, trying to make time, especially up in turns 3 and 4. Ty Gibbs lost a few spots coming to the finish of this stage, got a little bit loose getting into turn 3. We see him trying to maximize all the speed and potential he can, getting against the fence there. Turns the car sideways. Does a great job staying out of the wall, but there's a little smoke underneath that car. Don't know if there's some damage done.
Yeah, a little damage possibly there. He should have talked to you because you were one of the best running up there to that high line. Had to get out of it a little bit early and make that work. Very interesting. Noah Gragson did a very good job of coming back from that penalty, pit road speeding penalty that he had in that first stage, or at the end of that as they came back to start stage 2. But you keep making mistakes, things are going to happen, and it's not going to work in your favor. So I think that's the biggest thing. That we talked about it, and we can't stop talking about mistakes that these drivers are making.
Yeah, and who's at the front of this field? It's anybody's race right now. We saw AJ dominate stage 1 and then disappear in stage 2. So, Rick, we really don't know who's going to win this one. Could be anybody's.
Yeah, we mentioned mistakes. They can't happen. And so far, Noah Gragson, once again, a speeding penalty on pit road. Welcome you into the booth. We wanted to, show you how this booth is more or less built. Well, right now, Brad and I are actually seated.
Have you got taller?
Jeff, Jeff, you're standing, right, Jeff?
The average American male is 5'9". You guys are pretty.
We have a lot of fun. Our point guard, Jeff Burton, up here with us as we're back to race.
Oh, the Rays clinched the AL East, so. Oh, I got him! I got him! I got the fly! Fuck yeah!
Using an outside line again, and it's working for him. Cindric trying to do the same.
I think there's still one more flying around here. Oh yeah, I see him. He's on my lamp right now. Wait, there's another one. The fuck? So there was 3 flying around? God damn.
Fighting for third, Allmendinger has the spot now. Frustrated Allmendinger in stage 2.
Man.
Maybe the handling of that car is coming back to him.
Well, I'm thinking it's short run, guys. I think he has a really strong short run race car. We saw that last run. I mean, it got strung out. It got where it was a long, long run, and the car went away. I think right now he's good. Let's see what happens 15 laps into this run.
This final stage, the longest. 103 still to go in the final stage. We see Josh Berry in the 1, making that outside line work for him. When we had gone away to break, we saw the 54 of Ty Gibbs thought there might have been a little bit of smoke coming off the right side of that 54.
It looked like he hit the wall, but he didn't.
Don't see much damage unless just a little bit on the right rear quarter panel. But these composite bodies are very tough. Dave.
By the way, the team does not believe he hit the wall. The 54 trucks on. As for the 2 of Maya Snyder, he does as well. Solid pit stop, nice shoes. Has him in the top 10. But before he came to pit road, a bit of an issue. Listen.
You guys have me now. I got you, Maya. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, my damn earbud plug came out, and I couldn't put it back in quick enough when I realized what the problem was coming to pit road. So, hope I didn't miss anything.
The earbud is just what you think it is. It translates all the material that he needs to know inside that helmet, inside that loud race car. When it pops out, Jeff Burton, I have to imagine that is no fun whatsoever.
I don't know how you got it back in. Whenever I had a problem when it would come out, I never could get the thing back in my ear, and it was so loud. So I know he's glad to get it back in, not just for communicating, but the day I lost it, I couldn't hear him out of my ear for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, boy.
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
What was that again? Oh, that's right. Kelly, what's happening with the 31?
Well, you can see Ty Dillon there in that battle for 11th with Harrison Burton, and you might remember that before the caution came out, he had been running second and done a nice job staying up on older tires. They've got a little bit of damage to his car, but he has fallen back a number of spots because of a little bit of a miscue on pit road. Ty actually tried to pit in the wrong pit stall, so that set him back. I believe they lost about 8 spots just on that pit stop, and that's why he's kind of mired back there now in 12th.
And again, Ty had been running up front as he has now fallen back. Ty and Harrison fighting for that 11th spot right now. Allgaier, Cindric, and Allmendinger 1, 2, and 3. A couple drivers not fighting for the championship as far as the playoffs. Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry, they're currently 4th and 5th. And 4 more playoff drivers in Hemrick, Ryan Snyder, Justin Haley, and Brandon Jones. The top 9, Brett Moffitt rounding out that top 10. Fuel window will say that they'll all have to come back to pit road at least one more time. Can't make it all the way to the end of this race on fuel. And we'll see if we have a long run. And Brad, what you were talking about with A.J. Allmendinger, is it a short run setup car? And will he get frustrated once again, like we saw the frustration in stage 2? Justin Haley currently holding on to the 8th spot right now, Kelly.
And he told me earlier today, Rick, that he felt like they had the fastest car here in the spring race, but they got caught up in a wreck, so they don't really have the results to show for it. So he was feeling really optimistic coming into this race. But Justin's been pretty vocal over the radio. He said they're experiencing the same issue they've had recently at racetracks. At first, he was just too bound up, just way too tight. Said he was plowing at one point, and then he said he just couldn't trust the right rear, so he couldn't really lean on that car. So in this last pit stop, one of the adjustments they've made, Dave, is to try to help free him up and make him a little bit quicker on a short run, helping that pays off in the long run, Dave.
Kelly, one of the interesting things about Allmendinger's car is they don't know a whole lot about it. That's a brand new race car that they brought to the track this week. The 42 employees at Colleague Racing, along with the body shop and chassis shop at Richard Gildas Racing, took about a month and a half to put this car together and get it ready for the playoffs. Team President Chris Rice told me it's new. We'll see how it goes. Right now they're gathering information, and AJ's kind of been all over the board in terms of how he feels about it tonight. Still running 3rd, though.
Yeah, in a good position. A.J. Allmendinger, surprisingly, when colleagues said we're going cup racing, A.J. said, no, I want to run in the Xfinity Series. I have a lot of fun doing it as we go NASCAR nonstop.
If it looks like an F-150, goes like an F-150, hauls like an F-150, thinks like an F-150, and powers like an F-150, it must be an
F-150, Sheena.
Hybrid. The 2021 F-150 Power Boost Hybrid with 570 pound-feet of torque.
Stream has been dead tonight.
1,700 pounds of max available towing.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be?
Retirement. Tamp down the stress and amp up the relaxation, baby. Retirement is like winning another championship.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
Tampa Bay. Maybe I'll even join you.
My goal, bring a championship to Tampa Bay. And Gronk's coming with me.
Mom, where are my football pants?
Got him. There we go.
To just any network.
So now we're just down to one fly left. I think. I hope.
Internet that's one step ahead. That's cute. My internet streams to my ride.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than Harvick.
Okay, that's fast.
Me? My internet's so fast, it keeps up with me.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Can the internet do that? At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of basic, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who've honorably served and their families. Are we still exclusive?
I'm pretty sure that video is fake,
Exactly why you should join.
but it's still funny.
You're invited on a crisscrossing
But the one way that you knew that she was lying is because they said, "You slept with your teacher," and she said, "Mr. Wilson." She should have said, "What teacher?" The fact that she said Mr. Wilson proves that she knew who she was talking about.
Donuts joy. Time will tell. But for now, ride with me.
The NASCAR playoffs continue at Las Vegas tomorrow on NBCSN.
Allgaier has pulled away to a 1.2-second lead over Austin Cindric, holding on to the second spot. A.J. Allmendinger, another second behind him, currently in third. The only driver outside the top 10 right now that's involved in the playoffs that's not out of the race is Harrison Burton, who is currently running in that 12th position and has had an ill-handling race car, really, since the start of the second stage. Look at a few more updates. We start with Dave.
I'm watching the progress of Noah Gragson because for the second time tonight, he's from the back of the field with a pit road penalty. Talking with his crew chief, Dave Ellis, today, he told me he knows what he has to do, which is execute and not make mistakes, but that's not been the case for Gragson tonight. Drove through too many pit boxes early, penalty to the rear. Speeding the last time down pit road, penalty to the rear. If he doesn't win this race, Kelly, he'll be kicking himself.
Another driver who has made a nice comeback is Brandon Jones in that 19. Remember, they had to come to pit road for a potential loose wheel, which had him set back somewhere around 22nd. Well, Brandon's back up in the top 10, and this is a team that feels like they've had a lot of speed in their car throughout the season, but they've just been mired with some bad luck and perhaps some bad decisions as well that have resulted in a number of DNFs. But right now, they're having a solid day and showing right there even on the cut line, Dave.
What is your opinion on French fries? Honestly, I've been waiting for somebody to ask me this. I feel like my love for French fries has deteriorated. Like usually when I order McDonald's, I don't get fries.
Continue to cool here, guys. It's pretty comfortable right now. Maybe the 20.
Just because A, it costs more, and B, it's just like not that good. The Dairy Queen fries, I don't think they're that good.
Track temperature changing. Again, full sun on this racetrack all day long. At the start of the race, turns 1 and 2 were a little bit in the shade, but still very hot here. Over 90 degrees was the
French fries are just, they're all right.
So a lot of
McDonald's French fries are really good, but it's just like, I don't know, it's not worth it.
The car for Daniel Hemrick. Now it's over 114 degrees inside of those race cars.
But it's a dry heat. Don't forget it's dry.
The only reason you're saying that is because you're sitting in air conditioning
Oh, yes,
right
I
now.
am, and it feels good, too. It feels good.
Hemrick, we had mentioned, hasn't been to victory lane. This was a great opportunity. Finished second earlier this year here in Vegas. Had led plenty of laps. And now 7 seconds off of what Allgaier is setting as the pace. There's A.J. Allmendinger. He's in third. Ty Gibbs.
Oh my God. I love you, WinVal. I fucking love you. What lap? We're on lap 117. Or 118. I got the lap right here. But it's usually like one lap. It's actually like the lap we're actually on is like one lap ahead of what this says. So.
But we saw that. But it doesn't seem to have affected the race car. He doesn't look like he has any issues now. Right now running in that fourth spot. Josh Berry actually starting to challenge him from behind.
Talking about 54 Ty Gibbs, how Lucy's been. Well, here he is.
I'm getting a beer.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You know, that a little bit of everything going on there. Ty catching Allmendinger. Corner exit, the car doesn't have a lot of grip, and then the air comes off the car as he gets close to Allmendinger, and it just makes it worse.
Tell you, today's point, Jim, and I was watching, Noah Gragson is just absolutely flying around this racetrack. I mean, he's been a tenth quicker than the field most of the time. He gets past Daniel Hemrick here. If he can keep that forward momentum going, that'll be an incredible comeback from those two pretty critical mistakes.
There's the season so far for Ty Gibbs.
Got to spin in three. Got to spin in three.
Come down the racetrack and makes it to the apron. Only a one-car incident, it looks like.
Justin Haley.
So the caution comes out one more time, and it's a playoff driver again. He's running in the 10th position, finished 10th. Top 10 last 13, 14 races.
Yeah, he was entering turn 3. You can see the car just comes around. I don't know that, you know, we don't have the shot early enough. Don't know if there's contact enough, but he started backing up to the cars in front of him. Here he is, actually Moffitt tried to slide him.
Corner, clear.
Oh,
contact.
All right, hang on, straighten it out.
Well, so Brett Moffitt didn't appreciate that? Is that what we just saw?
Well, that's what it looks like.
Ooh.
You know,
Ow.
Brett Moffitt has every right to
What am I sitting on?
the way the other guys do, but you know, you're not in the point championship.
Kind of hit us in the left rear, so you'll be able to see that better to me.
And to ship a guy.
I should have fucking closed my door. Because I saw the fly, he left the room when I went out.
Back bumper doesn't look
And now he's back.
affected there for Justin Haley. But he was definitely right on it if there wasn't contact made.
I think you'll see the whole was a lap or two before that incident.
So this is the 6th caution. We had mentioned that you wouldn't be able to make it all the way on fuel. Now it'll be under 80 laps to go in the race.
WinVal, did you see the play last year where Daniel Jones was just running for the fucking touchdown? Like, he had like all the clearance in the world. Like, he was going to get that touchdown, and then he just fucking collapsed on the ground like a fucking moron.
And on to pit road they come.
That was the funniest shit ever.
And you can see everyone's going to be a taker for some fresh Goodyear tires, including the 22 of Austin Cindric.
Remember, I was watching that game live, and I just laughed my fucking ass off.
Not to hurt his forward turn. Below him, you see the 7 of Justin Allgaier getting a little adjustment. He said he was a little bit free all over the racetrack, but he can certainly handle it. It felt like they have a good car on the long run, Dave.
A.J. Allmendinger at the bottom of your screen said you made the rear better, but it's kind of dancing around. They're going to help the turn of the car by that traditional tape on the nose, covering up part of the grille so it's solid instead of air passing through it. And they'll take air pressure out of both rears to try to help the driver at the 16.
Coming off the pit road, a busy location there. As Allgaier and Cindric stay 1 and 2, Gibbs grabs a spot and
Sheena, how are you tonight?
Well, Gregson gaining 2 spots on pit road. Hemrick staying in that 6th position. We'll be back for the restart.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, people like Geico because it's just easy. Bundling, for example. You've got car insurance here and home insurance here. Why not? Zoop, put them together. Save even more. Some things are better together, aren't they? Like, tea and crumpets. You wouldn't bundle just anything. Like, say, a porcupine in a balloon factory.
Everyone has.
That'd be a mess. I mean, for starters, porcupines are famously no good at a team setting.
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
There's something I want to ask you. The new iPhone 13 Pro is here with the most advanced iPhone camera ever, and I got it at T-Mobile.
I thought you were going to talk about forever.
This is a value that lasts forever, because when you get the new iPhone at T-Mobile, trade-in value is locked in.
So we can always have a new iPhone?
Yes. So, what do you say? Switch to T-Mobile with me?
Yes.
We're going to T-Mobile!
Fall in love with iPhone. Get it on us now and upgrade every 2 years forever. Only at T-Mobile.
Kind of a chicken move he did there at the end. Chase Elliott is not happy with Kevin Harvick.
Does that every week, tries to run into you and get a flat tire.
For the freaking win at Bristol.
Yeah, why are some of the NBA logos so boring now?
The 4 got into the side of the 9.
He's mad, I don't know why he's mad at us.
I don't care who he is or how long he's been doing it. I'm gonna stand up for myself and my team.
I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head off.
This sets the tone for the rest of the playoffs. So round 2 starts tomorrow, guys.
Man, can you believe this?
Does that continue?
Yes, it continues. Heck yeah. It might not happen before our eyes like we think it will, but it's going to happen throughout the day where those guys are going to be around each other. You pay each other back just a little bit, maybe getting each other's way just a little bit. Heck yeah, it's going to continue. Can't wait.
I think what got overshadowed in that whole thing is the move that was made
That
at
was
the end of the
fucked
race
up.
when Harvick got past. I mean, nobody's talking about Larson's move on Harvick and how aggressive that was.
That was pretty good.
I mean, that was an aggressive move, and you know, I think there's a lot of guys upset at each other.
So it's going to be interesting. And again, the round of 12 starts tomorrow for the Cup Series. As we're getting ready for the choice that these drivers get to make, either inside or outside line. Go across the start-finish line. And that arrow right there. Top 2 are going to choose the top line. The next 2 choose the bottom line. So on and so forth. Allgaier and Gibbs will start on the front row. Then it's Allmendinger making up row 2. And a little bit further back there in row 3 is Daniel Hemrick, Dave.
He's still trying to get his first win, Rick, and that tonight would put him through the next round of the playoffs. Some good information from crew chief Dave Rogers right here.
We were losing 80% of our speed at 1 and 2, and you made some adjustments, and you were beating everybody through there. At the end of the run, our weak spot was 3 and 4. But of the last 7 laps, you were P1, 5 of them. Nice adjustment on your part there.
About that, giving the driver a little praise for doing what he could do to adjust the race car on the track.
Yeah, not only that, but letting you know, it was working. Like whatever you were doing there was positive. Now he can put that in the bank, understand exactly what changes he can make moving forward as he deals with challenges with his car.
And that's what Daniel Hemrick needs right now. Because Daniel Hemrick has finished second so many times, 9 times now. He needs that positive affirmation saying, you can do this. You were the fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's confident enough, but just that, like I said, that reinforcement, that affirmation gives him that little bit of extra to push the car a little bit harder at himself.
Coming up to the restart zone, it's Allgaier on the outside, Ty Gibbs on the inside. Three wide into 1.
3 wide, my goodness.
Shaking out, here comes Ty Gibbs once again looking to the inside of that 22, but the momentum's going to carry him past. So Cindric will get by, move up to second. Now Allmendinger in the 16, just behind that 54, will look to the inside. But it's Gregson on the outside that's going to take advantage of that high line and the momentum.
On these restarts, it's almost like if you can maintain your position, for the first 6-8 laps of the run, things start to spread out just a little bit, and you can pull away because the air gets so much cleaner, but you've got to get to those 6 to 8 laps.
This 9 car, he keeps inching inching his way closer to the front. We've seen him be able to drive up through the field, but it's not quite the takeoff speed he needs right now.
How about Josh Berry in the one, also making his way toward the front?
What a cool story from Josh Berry. I know there's a lot of late model drivers in Martinsville tonight, but man, he's here. He was having a good night there. Right after the restart, Allmendinger tries to sneak in this hole in front of Gregson, and boom, little contact with the wall. I don't think any damage there. You remember, you said it earlier, these composite bodies are pretty tough. Move around, don't have tire cut problems like you do in the cup side.
Look at the right side, he hit the wall. He hit it really hard.
Team followed up and told him just a lap ago, it looks fine now. They took a look at it from the spotter stand, and when he came by on the front straight.
Yeah, the letters are worn off the right side of the tires there for A.J. Allmendinger, as Josh Berry's going to go back by.
You wonder if it, not a tire cut, but could it take a more performance out of that car?
Now Berry with momentum. Got to the back tire, the back bumper of Ty Gibbs, and looks to the inside now to try to take that position away.
Wow, what a great run by Josh Berry. Gets a little loose. Ty Gibbs forces him down to the white line, but he's got that thing on a rail, man.
Old Ty, what he lacks in experience, he makes up for in aggressiveness. He just rolled right on down there with Josh. Just sidetracked the heck out of him. Slowed him down, and Allmendinger's like, yeah, I like that move. I'm going to take advantage of it, too.
So Allmendinger, once again, will set his sights on Ty Gibbs. And Gibbs trying to hold him off. Dave.
And you see Gibbs will go to that low line and try to protect against Allmendinger, who just told his team over the radio, by the way, I can't carry that kind of speed into the corner. How about speed off the corner? Look at this, Rick. He's going to try him down to the inside. And this is a battle now. Here comes Josh Berry as well.
Josh Berry's going to shove that 16 to the inside. They will both clear the 54 here. It looks like it's a 54 up the racetrack. Now Berry not able to complete the pass.
Well, Berry, see what he's doing? He saw how aggressive Ty Gibbs was on him, so he's like, okay, we're going to play that game. I'm going to take all the...
Man, they're racing hard over here. Ty Gibbs and fucking Gregson and Annette, they're all just like... See, Ty Gibbs has the sexiest car out there right now. That's Kyle Busch's, the scheme he uses in the Cup Series sometimes. And it's just beautiful. That's just, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous!
Full seasons next year. They're going to race against each other every single race. Great battle for the lead here as Cindric able to clear the 7, but let's see if Allgaier's got the momentum on the outside. He's loose.
Listen, this in the last lap, Cindric made up a ton of time on Allgaier. Wonder what's going on if Allgaier's dealing with an issue, but Cindric was 4 or 5 car lengths back and just all of a sudden made a huge run on him.
I'll run it back down, don't worry.
There you hear Allgaier cell running back down, don't worry. And you wonder if it was just a bobble, an ill-handling car in the corner that lost that momentum and allowed the 22.
All right, now I'm thinking there's 2 flies in here.
Can he
He's just flying around too fast to only be 1 fly. I'm only visually seeing 1 fly at a time, but they keep coming back in my face just too fast. Like they'll fly over there and then there'll be 1 right in front of my face. I'm just like, how's that possible?
Allgaier again to the bottom of the racetrack and way up high is the 22 of Cindric. Gap stays the same. Cindric, Allgaier, Allmendinger, the top 3 in the playoffs. Running top 3 here in Vegas.
Oh, look at Noah Gregson up on the wall, just digging around that.
Back here, you fuck. Come here. Come here, you bitch. Fight like a man, fly.
Josh Berry coming into the picture here in that 4th position as he puts a little bit of pressure on A.J. Allmendinger. Out front, it's Cindric. We'll go NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing.
Raw Power is an iron fist. Ram Power puts it in a velvet glove. Raw Power lifts with its legs. Ram Power also lifts with its brains. Raw Power gets it done. Ram Power does what's never been done before by anyone. Discover Ram Power during Ram Power Days.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on select Ram 1500 models, or $3,550 in total values on Ram 1500 Bighorn.
Oh, now there's two flies. I know that for sure. I just saw. I saw both of them in one shot.
Biggest, hand the cleanup over to the team that stays with you until even the smallest detail is taken care of. From ready to restore to rebuild. 1-800-SERVPRO, the #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
I need to try it first.
When you order Domino's delivery online, instead of adding surprise fees like other delivery apps, we're adding $50 million in surprise frees. Camera's a little close to that lava cake, isn't it? That's better. Order Domino's delivery online and you might get more than you expect with one of these surprise frees.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
Rocky Road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough, scoop days, scoop days, scoop days, scoop days, scoop shakalaka, 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 shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
There's a buzz in the air in Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans back at the track, or the anticipation of 8 drivers hoping to make it to the championship 4. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, showcasing 3 races and the sound of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it may be, it will be a weekend full of memories. And here sooner than you think. Get your tickets at KansasSpeedway.com.
I want to meet all the voiceover people who does all the voiceovers for commercials.
7 of Justin Allgaier taking the lead away from the 22. Here's how it happened.
Made it look easy. He said, "Hey, I'll go get him back."
Yeah, something must have happened at the 7. It just
Yee, what up, Jaden? Every dog and cat always sleeps in the middle of a bed.
And now Josh Berry.
I don't know. I think that's actually false. I feel like
As he was able to get by all the
most of my pets that I've had over the course of my lifetime, they sleep at my feet. Chester's the only exception to that. Chester's a fucking weirdo. He wants to sleep right next to my fucking balls. Whenever I do bring him downstairs, which is not often, he always, like, I'll be laying down and he'll just lay right next to where my balls are. I'm like, why? And whenever I try to push him away, he just goes right back. And I'm just like, why? Maybe he thinks that's like the warmest spot of my body.
There for Josh Berry. And Berry clearing for second. Now, Allgaier has been out front over 72 laps. That's the most he's ever led here at Vegas. 3 of the top 4, all junior motorsports drivers.
Maybe he's gay. Maybe that's why. I'm not here to judge.
Overcoming 2 pit road penalties today. Fantastic run for him, and it was noted by another team or two that he's one of the first guys to go up and try that high line. You see him use the low line as well, but he's one of the drivers who believes there may be some speed up there, and you'll see the driver migrate back up that direction. I don't know, he's all the way to 4th. He'll use any part of the track he needs to.
It's worked to this point. He has been caught for speeding on pit road and has battled back from that. Now running in the top 4.
I really don't want Allgaier or Sindick to win this race.
Conversation this weekend.
I'd love for Ty Gibbs to work his way back up right now. He's in 6th place currently, and I'd love to see him get his way back up to the lead. Or, I mean, just up to the lead. He hasn't led a lap today.
He didn't really seem to care. You know, almost relished it. But
Yeah, I would like to see that, but
look, I got to race these guys all year long.
who knows?
Maybe I need to show them a little more respect, and then hopefully they'll show me some respect.
From LA.
you know, it's
And she
all
got a little belly.
It's all good, and I think that's just some of Noah growing up and learning that, you know, you can't treat every lap like it's the last lap. You've got to deal with these drivers throughout the whole year, and that maturing of Noah Gragson, he has speed, is going to make him a better race car driver.
They're inside their pit window. That was about 60 to 65 laps was the pit window for fuel. Every team should have another set of tires when they come to pit road. And Allgaier out front. That's going to put a lot of pressure on these teams, especially if we stay green. And you put that much pressure on right now, teams that are separated by just 1 second. The driver has to hit pit road perfectly. The crew has to do everything perfectly to get it back off of pit road, because that second goes away very quick on pit road if you make one little mistake. Big run here for A.J. Allmendinger as he's trying to close the gap on Ty Gibbs in front of him. Been on track 26 laps since the last time they were on pit road, as they're spread out a bit. Hemrick running in that 7th spot. We've noticed that Myatt Snider has dropped back to 15th. Harrison Burton running in the 12th position. Those are the only two drivers that are actually still on the racetrack in the playoffs that are outside the top 10 right now.
Watching both of these guys, it just seems like neither one can get any forward momentum going. It just looks like the 2 and the 20 both are struggling tonight. Don't know what it is, but they're just really mediocre at best, and that's just not typical.
And the 2 had good speed a few runs ago. He looked like he was going to have a good night, but this run here, he just doesn't have any speed at all.
Myatt Snider, our broadcast partner, Marty, his father, he told us that the family, actually his grandfather, was involved in racing early on when he was supplying cars. He had a dealership, a Rambler dealership, and was supplying cars for drivers in the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series. Jimmy Llewellyn used to race and would get cars from the Snider family. Dave.
Yeah, and I've been following Myatt here, trying to figure out what's wrong with the car. Just listen to some recent radio between Andy Street, his crew chief, and Myatt.
He's over rotating everywhere. I'm trying my hardest to make this thing work, but I'm down and out right now, and I'm trying to get myself back up, but the car's down and out.
I'm down and out. The car is down and out. They need one more adjustment. Guys, what do you think? Are they going to get to pit road and get a chance to do that?
Well, they'll definitely have an option to come to pit road, do as much changes or adjustments to that car that they can. Right now, it's Allgaier out front. We'll stay NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss anything.
It's turned into a night race now. That's good.
Go wherever your wild side takes you. Toyota. Let's go places.
I need to try it first.
We buy so many different things online, from shoes to socks to shoe socks, baby food, dog food, parent food, a scarf, tube, sleeping bag, suit, huh? So why not tires? At TireRack.com, you can find, buy, then have your tires shipped to one of our trusted independent installers for safe, easy installation. Right now, you can get this special offer when you buy a set of 4 select winter tires. For details, go to TireRack.com/GetReadyGet80. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And Doug.
You got a couple of bogeys on your 6 Limo. They need customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, so they only pay for what they need. What do you say we see what this bird can do?
We are not getting you a helicopter.
Looks like we're walking, kid.
What are you looking
Only
at?
pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What you looking at?
The gap continuing to close between the 7 of Allgaier and the 1 of Josh Berry. Berry, could he steal a win away from one of these playoff drivers?
So impressed with Josh Berry. Late model
I'd love to see
racer,
Josh Berry win this
works on his
race.
own race cars. Drives the heck out of them. Then jumping into this Xfinity Series, guys, it's so difficult. No practice. Just roll up in here and go get you some. It's such a challenge, and he's answered the call, Kelly.
He told me that he feels like these intermediate tracks is where he needs to do the most. But he just said about the car, he said it's good. I'm just trying not to make the tires mad like I did on the last run. And then he followed that up with, if y'all had a little bit better driver in here, we'd be leading right now. But instead, he is closing on his teammate, Justin Allgaier.
I think they like the driver they got. I don't think they're looking for a different one.
He's pretty sporty. I agree with you on that.
Allgaier staying about 6 car lengths in front of the 1. But think about when are the teams going to start talking about green flag pit stops? When do you come? You're inside the window as we see Noah Gragson going by Cindric. Cindric using that high line to keep the momentum up.
Cindric going to try to get, is going to get to the right side of the 9 car. It's just such a difficult pass. See right here, Noah drives it way deep in the corner. Going to try to slide up in front of Cindric, but Cindric has good forward momentum. He's going to cross him over, and he's going to cross him over with enough pace to take whichever lane he wants. If he wants to go to the top, he can go to the top. If he wants to stay on the bottom, he can stay on the bottom. Noah said, hey, man,
Come on, Josh.
stay on the bottom. That's exactly what he wanted.
I'll take this top line as you see the gap between 1 and 2. Now 2 car lengths. So Allgaier under attack from Josh Berry for the lead at Las Vegas.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Josh Berry.
He didn't, I don't know what he did there. I don't think it was a bump and run, but he got him loose. And he took the lead right there. Nice move.
This is not a fluke, guys. I mean, we've been watching Josh Berry. His lap times, I mean, he is the fastest car on the racetrack, has been the last 10, 12 laps. He is absolutely motoring around this place.
And gaining tons of experience for next year, guys. Remember, he wasn't supposed to be in this car. Unfortunately, Michael Annette's still dealing with those leg injuries. See right here, this pass, look how far back Josh Berry is from Allgaier, down the back straightaway. Get her to turn 3. Josh can carry more speed to the center. Both of them locked on that white line. Josh is able to stay on that white line just a little bit further, and now he starts gaining momentum on him on the front straightaway. Watch Allgaier as he enters turn 1. Josh Berry turns just a little bit before him, stacks that air. Now, see right there, the car wiggled just a little bit. Now Josh Berry's in control. He was close enough to take the air from that 7 car. And the minute you saw it wiggle, Josh Berry high-fived himself, said, this spot's mine, Kelly.
Justin Allgaier knew that he was starting to struggle with that right rear tire, perhaps leaning on it a little too hard. So after the pass by Josh Berry, his spotter, Eddie DeHaan, came over and said, all right, cool that right rear tire down and then go after him again. And Justin just now giving some more feedback over the radio. It sounds like he might be a little bit free.
It's the longest green flag run of the night right here.
Yeah, Kelly, I think he just doesn't have enough rear grip to take the fight to Allgaier. Just doesn't have enough to lean on.
Right now, 17 cars on the lead lap. Kyle Weatherman, the final car on the lead lap, trying to stay there in front of Josh Berry. We see Cindric and Ty Gibbs fighting for the spot. Cindric able to hold on to it for now. As Gibbs back in 5th, Hemrick is 6th, Allmendinger 7th, Haley, Brandon Jones, Ty Dillon the top 10. Dave.
And Rick, team's starting to talk about maybe 5 laps or so when they get into the pit window here. So we'll see what the 22 of Cindric and the 54 of Gibbs do. Crew Chief Chris Gale for that green car will bring the young 18-year-old to pit road at some point here. And when I asked him what things Ty needed to work on, having won 3 times already this year in this series, he goes, you know what? There's a lot of stuff we can do. He's running full-time in the ARCA Series this year. That's the main focus for Ty Gibbs. But next year, it's wide open. Big smile on the crew chief's face as he thinks his driver has nothing but upside going forward.
You know, something that might be a little bit of a surprise for these guys is the possibility of a green flag pit stop. It's very rare that these guys have to make green flag pit stops, normally based upon the stage lengths or how cautions come out. But they're looking like this could be green flag pit stops for these teams.
That is a huge challenge for these drivers. You know, if you're here practicing on a Friday, you're going to practice getting on pit road. You're going to understand where do you lift in order to make your pit road speed where it needs to be, so you're not speeding when you get to that.
All right, I'm going pee.
But you don't get to do that with no practice, so you're going to be live under fire. If this goes and you do have to pit on the green and someone doesn't get a speeding penalty, I'm going to be extremely impressed, Kelly.
One of the things that Justin Haley, driver of the number 11, told me has been so valuable about running the Cup Series this year. Remember, he's been in that Spire Motorsports machine, and he said, we never do green flag pit stops, but I do them on the Cup side, and I've learned so much from that. He said even his own teammate, A.J. Allmendinger, pointed out that he hadn't made a green flag stop here at Las Vegas in years. So Justin Haley has that experience. He'll get it again tomorrow when he races in the Cup car, but that could pay dividends in a circumstance like this.
Kelly, I think that's a great point. The one thing you got to be careful of for Justin is that those Cup cars at a mile and a half with all of that downforce, those great big spoilers and all that, they're going to slow down much quicker and much easier than one of these Xfinity cars. And that little bitty spoiler across the back. So Justin can't carry the same speed to pit road in this car as he does in a Cup car.
It's been 5 races since the Xfinity Series has had a green flag pit stop. It was back in Michigan.
Wait, really?
So it's been a while for a majority of these drivers.
Wait, really? That's actually surprising.
Pit stops are coming up. We have just 33 laps remaining in this race. Josh Berry,
You haven't had a round of green flag pit stops in the Xfinity Series since Michigan? That's crazy. That was a month ago. Over a month ago.
Austin Cindric in the top 5.
Right, Sheena? Isn't that like weird? How can that happen? 5 straight races with no green flag pit stops
Home
happening.
wondering why, you see right here,
It's crazy. Like, it's absolutely crazy, Sheena. Who's a good girl?
Snyder,
Sheena,
Mike
who's a good
Snyder,
girl?
playoff driver, there he goes, a lap down.
Why are you looking at me like that?
But if you wonder why is it so hard, why would it be hard to get on pit road? It's not. If you're not worried about how fast you do it, right? And all week long, these crew chiefs work with the drivers about getting on the pit road quickly to carry as much speed as you can. So what you have to do is you have to drive as far as you can into turn 3, decide when to start slowing down, get the car into second gear so that you get your RPMs.
That's what makes my room messy, is when I throw shit on the
All you
ground.
get to do is read the RPMs, and that's
You
in
think I
second
would
gear.
learn,
You got to
don't
get
you?
the car slowed down to do that, and to get it into RPM so you can read it. And it's so easy to carry too much speed, and they're all pushing you. Go, man, go! Get us more, get us more. Because if you get on pit road 3 seconds slower than someone else, that's the same as having a pit stop 3 seconds off.
That's the gap between Barry and Allgaier right now. If you're 3 seconds slower, that gap goes away.
It's going to be interesting to see who the first driver to come on the pit road is. I mean, the negative to coming on pit road early is caution comes out and you get caught a lap down. But with only 14 cars in the lead lap right now, that's not a huge penalty. So I look at a car like Harrison Burton that is not run well today. He has had reasonable speed the last 15 laps or so, but he's lost a lot of ground to leader. See Noah Gragson just touching the wall. Brandon Jones, Justin Haley, Ty Dillon, those guys might get a huge advantage by pitting early.
If you're the leader, if you're Josh Berry, you stay out until the end of your pit window as far as running out of fuel?
If I'm Josh Berry, I'm not the first one on pit road. He's pulled out to a 3.5 second lead. You don't want to be the last guy on pit road, but what you're queuing off of is if Allgaier pits or Noah pits, then the next lap, I think that's when you would need to pit. But right now, look at the gap he's got. He's got 3.5 second lead, so I just don't see the need for Josh Berry to be the first one on pit road. I wish Steve was here.
You don't want to do the math?
Oh, no, there's no math.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing math.
So you think about it, 6 of the last 8 races here, guys, have had a final green run less than 15 laps. So it's critical. It's just critical. You can't make that mistake on pit road. You got to come in. Everybody's got a set of tires left. It's just critical.
But those crew chiefs also are using that information, said, well, tendency is there's a caution late in this race.
Right.
And so you don't want to, like Jeff said, get caught on pit road. Well, ultimately, if you were on pit road, the caution came out, it would be bad. But you don't want to get caught just pitting and then the caution coming out.
A lot of conversation about oil coming out of the car. Well, look at the very back of that car now compared to earlier in the race. Look how dirty it is.
Yep.
There is something happening right there. You hope they haven't, you know, run a little more out of rear end grease or something like that. You know, you hope that's not a problem, but certainly the back of that car has gotten really dirty.
Go side by side here as they're passing that lap traffic. Go by Josh Williams in the 92. And a few on pit road, Kelly.
And that's playoff contender Brandon Jones coming to pit road. Remember after they had that loose wheel earlier, he says the car feels like it wants to wreck in 1 and 2, but then it's the exact opposite in turns 3 and 4. We'll see the chassis adjustment there and 4 Goodyear tires.
A little smoke, a little fire on that right front. That's just rubber burning off. No big deal.
For you as a race car driver, it's no big deal. Sitting up here in the
Especially up here.
it's no big deal. As Josh Berry continuing to lead here, and we're starting to see some green flag pit stops take place.
Yeah, I have a feeling with that 20, I'm sorry, with the 19 coming down pit road, I just think that's going to start to drag a few others.
They haven't come wholesale. We've got another one making the left turn onto pit road now.
Josh Berry's done such a great job as well as we've chronicled. And can he get on the pit road? What kind of stop can he make on pit road? Like I say, no experience in this at all. Not a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure, a lot of learning.
That is a great point out. To the point that was made earlier. You see the 7 car on pit road.
So Allgaier's second has come to pit road. Kelly.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, he'll be eager for some fresh Goodyear tires. That right rear was just basically killed. So he said he just kept getting looser and looser, was really trying to work on his line. You see a chassis adjustment there for Justin Allgaier as well, but he was really trying to figure out the fastest way around the track on that last run, Dave.
Ty Gibbs in the 54 hits his marks. That's the driver's job. His car needs to be tighter. You see the wrench going in the rear window. That is track bar down to help that 4 Goodyear tires. Sunoco fuel. Daniel Hemrick is on pit road as well. He said his car was loose running the high line in 3 and 4. They'll make an air pressure adjustment for the 18 when he comes to pit road. And that would be now. See the driver of 18 coming in. Veteran driver Daniel Hemrick. Remember, spent a year in the Cup Series. Learned a lot about green flag stops there. This should be a strong point for him, Kelly.
That's Austin Cindric in the 22. He said it was his right front tire that was killed at the end of that run, and he was also building tight throughout that last run.
Ty Gibbs in the 54 came to pit road. Too fast entering. It's difficult to do, Dave.
Wait, who? Ty Gibbs? Who got the penalty? Ty Gibbs? Oh, come on. If I heard that right.
His car is way too loose. Needed an adjustment for that. The 9 of Noah Gregson comes to pit road now. 2 penalties on pit road so far today. Can they nail it on the last one? Gregson will get 4 tires and fuel. He said the car is skating in the middle and he needs rear grip. And as for AJ Allmendinger, his car way too tight no matter where he runs it. In fact, he said, I've never had a car that felt so tight on the exit of the corner as I have with this one, Kelly.
And that's the leader, Josh Berry, who has brought the number 1 car to pit road. Pretty happy with it, as you can imagine, especially running up front there in clean air. So we'll see what he can do.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's Josh Berry. I keep forgetting that shit.
What happens with Josh Berry and Justin Allgaier? They're running 1 and 2. Allgaier.
Because Michael Onette's like, it's weird. Like, he comes back for a race, and then he just leaves again. And then he comes back, and then he leaves again.
Did better as far
Because, like, he had some sort of issues. I forgot what exactly his health issues were, or, like, an injury. But, like, he's been out, and then he came back, and then he was out again for a few weeks, and then he came back, and then he was out again for a few. It's like, figure it out.
Get to pit road just a little bit sooner helped out Allgaier. Haley still out on the racetrack. Has not come to
So Justin Allgaier, he didn't take the lead, but like it will be the lead. He's in third place right now, but he's ahead of Josh Berry. So there's lap traffic though. I want Josh Berry to catch up and pass Allgaier.
Now it looks like Haley on pit road. He'll make his final stop. We'll go to our non-optional Pacific.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who honorably serve.
You know my job only scheduled me for 7 hours next week? Yeah. That's all I'm working. It's Wednesday, Wednesday 4 to 11.
USAA is made for all who
It's
honorably
ridiculous.
serve and their families. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
Less than a car length separating the top two. Here comes Josh Berry trying to take the lead.
Yeah, Joshua. Unless they updated it.
Josh Berry's done an outstanding job. He can
No, that's literally the only...
Welcome to the big time.
When I go in on Wednesday, I'll just ask if I can work.
Run in Vegas. Now, coming up on 16 laps to go. Berry has won at a short track. Can he win at an intermediate track? Yet not running the full season. Started the year off with Junior Motorsports. Only ran half the season. That was planned. That's all they had in sponsorship for Josh Berry.
So Josh Berry took the lead from Allgaier.
For other teams trying to get a ride after that Martinsville win. And now
Is anybody still here in the stream? We're getting close to the end of the race here. No one's even watching.
next year to run for a championship, and he's pulling away from Allgaier. Less than 15 laps to go. Berry, Allgaier, Gregson, Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick. And Brad, you mentioned tendencies have shown that 15 laps is normally the longest green flag run at the end of the race here at Las Vegas. So the possibility for caution still out there, still lingering.
Yeah, the intensity ratchets up. The guys start searching, start trying to find those extra, the extra ability to go forward, to get some space, and mistakes start happening. So we're within that window.
Hemrick's going to go by the 19 of Brandon Jones. We go NASCAR nonstop.
I could maybe eat 2 cheeseburgers and a cherry latte. Oh, yeah. What size? Route 44? Go big or go home. Go big or go home. And if you're going to do it wrong, do it right.
Well, if you're going to
Eat the dessert.
eat
Buy
a
the
dessert.
shoes. Besides, drink stuff off.
You have too many shoes.
I know.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be?
Retirement. Tamp down the stress and amp up the relaxation, baby. Retirement is like winning another championship.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
Tampa Bay. Maybe I'll even join you.
My goal, bring a championship to Tampa Bay. And Gronk's coming with me.
Where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GO in 5G.
When the threat from fire and water damage is at its biggest, hand the cleanup over to the team that stays with you until even the smallest detail is taken care of. 1-800-SERVPRO, the #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
My internet streams to my ride.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than Harvick.
Okay, that's fast.
My internet's so fast, it keeps up.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet.
All right, 10 to go.
So powerful, it keeps
Or 11 to
one-upping
go.
itself.
Okay,
on the internet do that?
2.4-second lead.
I would love
out in front here at Vegas.
I mean,
The final 10 laps.
the thing is, I'd be super happy to see Josh Berry win, but for excitement's sake, I want to caution.
Here, especially playoff drivers, as he pulls away from them. I think another surprise in the playoffs has been Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones came to pit road a little bit earlier. He was below the cut line when the playoffs started. Came in the 10th position, 5 points below the cutoff line. Now, Brandon Jones above the cutoff line by 10 points.
Well, I love the call to get him on pit road before everybody else. They were, you said it, they weren't running very well. Got him on pit road, got those new tires. They got a great pit crew on that team, and all that collectively is going to help him gain some spots here. Just a really, really good call. Jeff Menderen recognizing the situation they were in and just say, you know what, we got to do something a little different than everybody else. And 3 or 4 spots could be the difference between making the next round of the playoffs or not.
The other thing that happened with the 19 team, and when we talked to Brandon Jones earlier this week, he said it's not something that their former spotter was doing wrong, but they wanted to shake up and change the dynamic of the team, and so they changed spotters. And so now Drew Herring is spotting for Brandon Jones, and maybe that dynamic has changed things on this team right now, because right now it's Brandon Jones in that 6th position and looking stronger here at the start of the playoffs.
Drew Herring, you know, back to the spotter. He spots for Martin Truex Jr. on Sundays, and he's a former driver. Really good race car driver. And just a little bit different information coming to Brandon Jones. And listen, spotters don't make the car go fast. Right. They don't. The spotter doesn't make the car go around the racetrack. But what it does do is provide information. A lot of times the most important job the spotter can do is provide information to the team. Like, here's what I'm looking at. Here's what I'm seeing. Although the driver may not be able to communicate it as well as the spotter can see it sometimes. This is where we need speed. This is where we got to get better.
Las Vegas is a weird racetrack.
Remember, in the playoffs,
it's a cool racetrack, but it's a weird racetrack.
To the next round. Well, if Josh Berry comes in here, not a part of it, wins this race, that opportunity for an automatic spot into the next round, it's taken away.
Josh Berry, you see right there how much his car moved around, like a big wiggle getting to turn 3.
Hey, it's Junior Motorsports top 3 right now.
Josh Berry and
You got Josh Berry in 1st, 2nd is all guy running in 3rd place is Noah Gragson.
He's been with Junior Motorsports for almost a decade, but it was at the late model local track level.
So this is a good night for Junior Motorsports overall. Jeb Burton is 27 back. Mike Snyder's 10 back of the cut line. Riley Herbst 32 back, just he needs to keep falling. And then Jeremy Clements is 36 points back of the cut line.
And they gave him a shot, and Josh Berry came out and has performed. Like I said, won at Martinsville at a short track. They didn't have the full season scheduled for him, but now he will run a full schedule in 2022.
4.3 seconds back.
Kelly.
And remember, this is essentially a bonus race for him as he fills in for Michael Annett. And one of the things that Josh was so excited about is to return to Las Vegas Motor Speedway with the same organization, the same team. He felt like this would be a really good measure for how he's improved. He said when he came here for the first time ever in March, everything came at him so quickly, so fast. There was just a lot going on. He said we ran okay and had a pretty good finish. So he was really
How did the race go? It's still going on. There's 3 laps left.
And more confident. And boy, has he ever taken advantage of the opportunities that are coming his way.
Josh Berry is leading. He is
That's right.
He's passed Allgaier twice for the lead, so he's clearly just the best car out there. He's driving the Michael Annett car because he's still out.
And now all of a sudden he takes that car and potentially going to be able to park it in victory lane.
Well, Brad, how many times do we see in sports a player goes down, somebody else steps in and takes advantage of that moment, and you hate it for the guy that goes down, but it creates an opportunity to step up. We see it in sports all the time. great example right here tonight.
Another great example. Tom Brady had that opportunity to step up and go on and become the greatest ever. And Josh Berry, like I said, we chronicled it throughout the night. He's taking advantage of an incredible opportunity, and he's doing what he needs to do. And I'm gonna tell you, this is outstanding. This performance by the show.
One lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Now, coming up on less than
How many laps left, bro? This is the final lap, bro. Josh Berry's about to win it.
Uniform 302. Down the backstretch for the final time for Josh Berry, looking for his second win ever in the Xfinity Series earlier this year.
There we go. Josh Berry does it.
He has definitely.
Josh Berry wins at Las Vegas.
Win on an intermediate. Josh Berry wins in Vegas.
1, 2, 3 finish. Wow. For Junior Motorsports, first time ever.
Did not see this coming. Tell you what.
Great job.
You know what's funny is we were on pit road before the race, and Dale Jr. was like, "Oh, we're never good here. We won one time here, that's it."
1, 2, 3 finish. Yeah. For Junior Motorsports.
Josh Berry just took away a lot of momentum for some guys who try to win a championship.
Yep.
Big time.
Yeah, and also remember,
This race literally goes to prove driver skill. Because fucking Michael Annett, that's his car. He usually drives that car. He is out right now, recovering. And Josh Berry is filling in. And he just won. He just fucking won. Josh Berry doesn't, Michael Annett doesn't fucking win. He got that one win, but he fucking sucks. Josh Berry is just clearly a better driver, and he should be replaced. He should replace Michael Annett next year.
You see there was some contact all around the one. A little bit of tire mark.
Tell you what, this guy has superstar written all over him.
Well, I think he already is signed with like Junior Motorsports for next year.
It's just impressive to come in here with no practice, no seat time at this racetrack, none of that stuff, and just go out and just take it to him.
You know, I had Gregson on DraftKings All-Star driving. So Josh Berry is a Phil. And are you kidding me? Wow, yeah. He's literally not even supposed to be in this race.
He finished 7th in that race.
Well, he probably would still be in this race, but just not in this car.
And take this number 1 car to victory lane and lead the 1, 2, 3 finish of Junior Motorsports. Really an amazing performance today.
Can't wait till next year. It's going to be fun to watch this young man.
All smiles. As he gets ready to climb out of the car.
Good folks back in Tennessee are excited to see the local short track heroes step up here with the big boys and put it on.
You gonna get out, Josh? You're just gonna keep sitting there. Alright, there he goes. If you picked Berry on DraftKings, the playoff would have been insane. Major underdog, yeah. I don't even use DraftKings. I probably should.
Unhooked, ready to celebrate his second career Xfinity Series win, and he leads the way for a Junior Motorsports 1, 2, 3 finish.
He's not even in the playoffs. Even though he does have a win this year. This is his second win of the season. He's not even in the playoffs because he hasn't run all the races.
Tracks were the place he needed to make the most improvement. But you've gone out there and bettered them all, so what do you say now, Josh?
Oh my gosh, the thing was so fast.
See you at 7 p.m. tomorrow? Is it 7 or 7:30?
At the end, I felt like, so I just wanted to really work hard and make sure my car ran good on the bottom. And I just had to stay disciplined and keep working on it. These guys made the right adjustments. And it was fast, man. I just finally got a long run and put everything together.
Yeah, it's 7. So I'll be live at 6:45. But yeah, see you, Kenneth.
How was it balancing that as you made the passes to get around him?
What's next week's races?
Me and Justin have raced together a lot.
Oh, I know it's Talladega, but when are the races?
And most of them, he's got the better of me. Today we were able to get one, but this is cool. This moves the 1 car to the next round of the honors points.
Saturday, October 2nd. So Saturday at 1 is the truck race.
They deserve this. Flying J deserves this. All St. Peterbilt TMC. I want to say hi to Michael at home and thank him.
And then Saturday at 4:30 is the Xfinity
race.
race.
Car and man, just everybody back at JRM. 1, 2, 3.
That's kind of risky.
Really cool.
What if that race falls into
Like I
darkness?
said, the car was great. Just had to figure
And
it
then
out.
the Cup race
This is
next
Tony
Sunday
Amelia,
at
so,
2.
I just want to say hi to my wife and my little girl home. I don't know what time it is back home. She might be asleep by now. But I love you guys, and man, just thank you to all these fans for coming out here. Man, I wanted to win this race so badly tonight for this group, and we were able to do it.
Josh Berry, the winner here at Las Vegas.
Jeff, to see him a little emotional, it's tough to win these races. I mean, the fact that he has such limited opportunities and to do something like this is a tough thing to do, and you can tell it was emotional. That touched him.
Well, I think he appreciates so much the opportunity. Yes, it's such a difficult thing to get this opportunity, and short track racers around the world are pulling for Michael and that because that's what they're looking. I'm sorry, for Josh Berry, because that is what they want their short track career to lead to. Is look, I'm winning on short tracks. Give me
Fucking
a
Jeff
shot.
Burton messing up their names.
Josh Berry is showing.
What an idiot.
It's showing them, man.
Even though I think I did that earlier.
Give these short track drivers that are winning races, give them a
But
shot.
I'm not an announcer
And
either.
let's think about his crew
I'm just
chief,
some
Mike
fucking
Bumgarner.
idiot.
He was with a young Kyle Busch at Hendrick back in the day. Great tutor for this young man. Great job by Josh.
What a night it is for the one team. They're going to celebrate during the entertainment capital of the world, Sin City, Vegas. Yes, Josh Berry just won it.
I need to try it first.
Here's a good Halloween trick. Buy a bunch of Reese's. There you go. Turn off all the lights in your house. Yeah. And then you just don't answer the door.
Alright, y'all.
I'm sorry, Reese's.
I'm gonna end the stream.
Where our new
I want to thank y'all for watching.
everyone